Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight I have Stu Woolley. He will join us in a couple of minutes' time, and also we will have Nuruddin on as a guest. So, guys, girls, get in the chat, smash that like, and subscribe if this is the first time on the Tactical Devils. Tonight we are going to talk about Tchouaméni, actually our new number 6 target, according to James Docker and the Telegraph. So, guys, let me just show you the recent updates and the links that came out. No, it's not the right one. Give me 2 seconds, and I will find this one. Here we go. Share screen. So MUFC are keeping close tabs on Tchouaméni's development at Real Madrid, and one of those on the number 6 shortlist alongside Elliot Anderson, etc. And interest in Tonali is rescending at this stage. And here we have Stu Woolley, by the way. And guys, girls, tonight we'll be back after the intro. So please do us a favor, smash the like, subscribe if this is the first time on the Tactical Devils, and we will be back after the short intro. So see you in a second. Yes, guys. Welcome to the Tactical Devils. We haven't been on for a couple of days, but now we are back with another Monday night Jarvis's Corner, usually 9 p.m., but we went on a little bit early tonight. So I hope everybody is well, and get your comments in the chat. We have Yal Malmini in the house saying, these Real Madrid players, I don't want them. This dude is on 210k a week. Pounds, and he would want over 300k at United. Now, none of these Real Madrid players are happening. He's a good player, though. Cost too much. Big up, Yal Malmin. Good to see you, my friend. I don't know, Stu. Welcome to the show, by the way, and thank you for jumping on a little bit early with me. But what we heard is the Tchouaméni rumors from Telegraph Docker, and what's your thoughts on James Docker's recent updates on Tchouaméni? Is it all guff? Because we know we've been linked to him several times. I would say this is the third time, maybe fourth time this Tchouaméni rumors pops up, but we haven't heard of it so far. Now in this midfield race at the end of this season. So what's your initial thoughts?
Not for me. I think we talked. What did we talk about? Camavinga, didn't we, the other week?
We did.
Camavinga. Yeah. No, not for me. We've got to go. As I said before, Premier League proven in this window for everything: midfield, defense, wing backs, etc. Whatever we do, we've got to go Premier League proven. So I'm just not having. Tchouaméni, who are they going to go for? They're going to try and get Tonali. They're going to try and get Fernandes from Chelsea. What Madrid wants somebody to move him out, and that's a big issue for me. If they're moving him out for somebody to come in, we don't need him. So I wouldn't go with Tchouaméni. I wouldn't have gone with Camavinga anyway.
No.
No, so for me, it's just a little bit more paper talk until we actually do something, and sort the managerial position out. Start talking to players. We should have been talking to players in January anyway, but start talking to players and get these players over the line. Then I just think we're going to be linked with absolutely everybody midfield wise. He's a decent player. Obviously, we know he is. Camavinga's a decent footballer, but not what we want. We don't need that. You look at the type of player that Elliot Anderson has lost his mum, didn't he? Recently, puts in a brilliant performance. I know it was only against Wolves, but he still puts in a brilliant performance. He goes out there and does it for his mum. That's the type of player profile you're looking for. You're not looking for somebody who isn't willing to stand the test of time at a club like Real Madrid because somebody else might be coming in who might upset the apple cart. We can't keep doing that. We keep doing it all the time. We kind of got away with it with Casemiro to an extent. I mean, he's been absolutely top draw. Casemiro has this season. Nobody can deny that.
Yeah,
he's been absolutely brilliant for us. And he's going to be a big, big miss, isn't he, with his goals, etc. And Tchouaméni isn't going to come in and score Casemiro's goals. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we've got to make.
He's not a goal-scoring midfielder. You're right. He's only scored one goal so far this season in his games. Yeah.
He's not even broke double figures, has he, since he's been at Real Madrid? So I think for me, we've got to be more considered with our choices. We've got to be more considered with what we want to do as a club. We've got to be more considered in everything that we do moving forward in terms of player recruitment and management recruitment. I don't trust the board to do it at all. I don't think they will make the right choices this summer, and I fear we're still on the hamster wheel. We've got to get off it. And this was a summer.
Let's do a quick question. The Telegraph and James Ducker. It's no mugs. It's not tier 1, but he's hardly been out with a lot of wild speculations. He has to have some legs. This one.
But I'd imagine it's agent driven then, rather than player driven. I would imagine it's agent driven because I can't see us going in for him, and I'm not really sure. I don't see how he'd benefit us, if I'm being brutally honest with you. I really don't. There are better players or equally as good players available in the UK. And I think that's what we should be looking for. So for me, it's all agent driven.
Yeah, it could be agent driven, but also it makes sense. We have been linked to this player before. He fits the profile because we know we have been after a player like Baleba. He's been our number 1 midfield target now for at least 12 months or 10 months, I would say. And the Baleba thing, it's been fizzling away because of his performance. He haven't played well for Brighton this season, and it gives us a lot of red flags. So maybe he was the option for a midfielder at that bracket, that price range. But when we look at the Tchouaméni, I think we are talking about at least
you're talking 80 million,
75 to 80 million euros at least.
Yeah, at least. Million. It's not a deal I see getting done. It's not a deal I want to get done anyway. When you looked at the way we played against Chelsea, we weren't great. Everybody knows we weren't great. We did a smash and grab against Chelsea and we got away with it. Got no problem with that. Football happens. Football is that. You only need to score once. You can have 50 shots. If you don't score, it's an irrelevant. And I think we had 1 shot on target, didn't we? 2 maybe. And we got the goal. So, wonderful pass again by Bruno. And it's one of those.
Yeah, he actually took on the man and dribbled.
It's one of those assists I find quite funny.
Yeah.
Because Sesko, I think it was. I'm not saying it was an aimless ball because I don't think it was. I think it was absolutely meant for Cunha, but it kind of dribbled past the scrapping Casado and Sesko, didn't it? And Cunha's like, "Fucking hell, thank you. Here we go." Whip that into the corner. So I was pleased with that. But if Bruno stays, you've got to have an accompaniment. Now, let's face it, Mainoo probably had his best game this season against Chelsea. And don't even get me started about waxing lyrical about Aiden Heaven, by the way. Don't even get me started on that. He was dodgy as fuck for 10 minutes. I mean, desperately poor. But then after that, absolutely. Nuruddin, how are we, mate?
Big up.
But after that, Heaven just climbed into where he left off 8 weeks ago. I mean, he was absolutely tremendous. So could Tchouaméni come and do that? No, he's not that type of player. He can't come into the Premier League and kick off immediately. We've all said it. We need players to come in, kick off on August the 14th, 15th, whenever we have our first match, and get on with it. No pissing about it. And I don't think Tchouaméni can do that. That's just my thought process on it.
Well, obviously, we as Man United fan, we have been burnt so many times when it comes to all of these rumors. We've been linked to everyone in the world, and
Yeah.
all the time when we link to these Real Madrid players, those top shelf type of players, we always feel like we're just being used by agents or the clubs or whatever, And when this rumor comes out again, but again, it's James Stocker, he's semi-reliable. I wouldn't think that
He
he's a
is.
guy who goes out with just clickbait. And again, he has to have some legs. So, what's your take, Nordin, when it comes to Tchouaméni? Is he a player you would like at Man United? Could he replace Casemiro, and would he fit to play with Kobbie Mainoo? There's so many questions when it comes to this, and least of all, could we afford a player like him, and would he come to Man United? There's so many questions when I hear this rumor.
Yeah, I off the bat, I think he's BS, me personally. But last entertaining if it was to happen. I think he's had his best season this season. I'm worried about his injury prone. He struggled with injuries. But I definitely can see that this season he stepped into as a Real Madrid player. All of that pressure, everything that comes with it. Obviously, he was first linked with Liverpool to begin with, and he was very closely linked with Liverpool. But now that he's at Real Madrid, I am worried about getting a player from outside of the Premier League. I don't think we've got time for the adaptation period next season. We need to hit the ground running really quickly, or we could struggle. I think the recruitment, we could struggle next season. But if you said to me, him out of the midfield that we've got Anderson or Tchouaméni, I'll choose Anderson all day, every day. Because I need somebody who doesn't need any adaptation time. He's still young. He's still a young player as well. So, yeah, it's really interesting.
But as a number 6 to fit into this Carrick Man United team, being the patrol officer in front of our defense, we are screaming out for a player like him. And he would even be more defensively suited than a player like Casemiro. And he has the stride, he has the coverage of area, and I think he will actually help out the defense in a fantastic way. The same as we thought Baleba would do when we talked about him last season, like the perfect player to fit into this team. So I don't know what's your take,
definitely.
Nordin?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he's the profile player that we need, 100%. But do I think it's Tchouaméni? I worry about his injuries, and then I worry about his adaptation to the Premier League. So I'm like, no, we need to recruit midfielders from the Premier League. But his profile, 100 million%. We need that profile type of player. I think he's actually more of a number 6 because Real Madrid have played him as a centre back. More, he's got that defensive capabilities of cutting things out. I think he's a different profile than Camavinga. Camavinga is more of a ball carrier than he is somebody who's watching over. But I think he's had his best season this season. So that's why I am quite dubious and quite suspicious about the timing of this rumor. And the one that, if they were going to get rid of anybody, was Camavinga. All reports in Spain, not Tchouaméni. So I wouldn't say no to him. If you said to me, Tchouaméni or Camavinga, I take Tchouaméni all day, 100%. I will take Tchouaméni. But do I think that he is my first choice? No, he's not my first choice. But I will never turn out a player with that level of quality with him. But I just worry about his injuries, the price he will cost, and that the fact that he's going to need time to adapt to the Premier League. And I don't want that. I want a player who's ready to go now.
Yeah. Stu, defensive profile. Is he the Casemiro replacement, or is he the option for Baleba?
No, I think he's a definite 6. There's no two ways about it. You're both right in this position. And would he fill a Carrick system? Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he doesn't necessarily need to fill a Carrick system. A defensive 6 will fill any system because that's all he does. I mean, his job is just to marshal the back 4, get the ball, win it, and pass it to a Mainoo, to Bruno, and let it play. Rodri does that brilliantly. We've all seen it. And he will do that. I don't like him in possession personally. I do think he's got an injury problem. I don't agree 100%. He's not a Camavinga. He's not a box to box. I haven't seen enough of his tackling and his heading ability, because that's what you need in the Premier League. You need tackling ability and heading ability. So Nuruddin's exactly right on that. So you want a player that's going to come in and command that third of the pitch, that final third of the pitch where we're our defensive side. We need a player to come in and command that area, to come in and have the balls to make the tackle at the right time, have the balls to win a header at the right time, have the stones just to get it 5 yards and ping it 5 yards. Well, it's not ping, is it? But, pass it 5 yards, 10 yards. I'm not looking for somebody who can hit a 30-yard pass. Central midfielders don't do that. That's Nuruddin's role. Give it to Nuruddin. He can run with it, or he can hit it 30 yards. Or get it out to you on the wing, Jarvis. Then you can run with it. Defensive midfielder is to break up the play, get it, and move it. It's a disruptor, simple as that. Can Tchouaméni do that? Absolutely. 100%. We know he can, and we've seen him do it. But his injury record is not great for me. And I think playing in Spain is way, way, way different, as we've already stated in a variety of different leagues, than it is in the UK. When you look at players that have moved from the UK and really thrived in other divisions, the only one that's been absolutely out of this world top drawer has been Michael Olise, when he went from Palace to Bayern Munich. I mean, he's a streets ahead of fucking anyone else at this point in time with his ability and his play. McTominay's having a torrid time at Napoli. What's his name? Who's our ex-striker? Højlund having a bad time.
Højlund, yeah.
They were booed off, weren't they, the other day? They're having problems with Napoli. So I massively need a six. I've said for years, Jarvis, we need a proper six. Somebody you can just pick up, drop in. I'm with. Look, I've said about Anderson before. I think he goes to City personally. I think he's made up his mind that he goes to City. I don't know really. I mean, I quite like Fernandes at West Ham. I was watching a little bit of him tonight. I like him. I like the way that he plays. I think it suits us quite nicely.
I agree. But he's more of an 8, even slash a 10.
Yeah, he's more of an 8/10. Yeah. If we could get Mainoo playing to his ability at the moment, Mainoo for me could do a 6 perfectly. He really could. If you watch the way he played against Chelsea and the defensive side of his game, he was magnificent. Taking the ball in tight areas, moving the ball in tight areas, 2 touch, 3 touch, 1 touch, ping, 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 ping. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, that guy had his best game for Manchester United against Chelsea. He was absolutely brilliant. So, could you do something with Mainoo if you did bring in a Fernandes? I don't know.
No.
Food for thought, a conversation piece.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to say thank you so much to Saeed coming in with this raid. Thank you so much, Saeed. Appreciate it. Top man. Guys who just tune in, please do us a favor, subscribe to the channel and smash the like. Let's just go through the stats when it comes to Tchouaméni and just have a look at him. Let me just bring it up. So Tchouaméni.
So something that is aerially, he's quite good aerially, but that's La Liga aerially. Premier League is a different level of aerially. But yeah, go ahead.
That's different. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so guys, just bear with me. Give me 2 minutes. I will just go through the stats. So he's 185 height. He's 26 years of age. So, he has experience, not too old, but not too young. His transfer value is 68.4 million euros. So I think we should be able to get him, talking about maybe 75 to 80 million euros. Maybe could be a possibility. Contracts ends 2028. So we have a couple of seasons left on his contract. When we look at his positioning play, he plays as a central midfielder, defensive midfielder, and can even play as a centre-back, as you mentioned, Nuruddin. And when it comes to his play rate, aerial duels, 92 percentile, that's quite good. Defensive contributions, 83, that's massive. Touches, is very involved in the play all the time. So this is his strengths when it come to him as a player. So far this season, 1 goal in 28 matches, 2,251 game minutes played, and a cheeky rating of 7.4. That's quite good. But then again, he plays for Real Madrid. If you go down a little bit and look at his FB referables, when it comes to shooting and goals, assists, he's not a big contributor. His passing range is very good when it comes to successful passes. Yes, an average of 91.9% per 90. And when it comes to successful passes, and I would like his accurate long balls to be better, but 68.9, that's okay. But this is where he thrives. Duels won 98.5 percentile in the top 5 leagues in Europe. That's 69.5% out of all duels he wins. Also, when it comes to aerial duels, that's 73.8%. He's in the 94 percentile of the top 5 leagues in Europe. And defensively, tackles strong, defensive contribution 82%, blocks, shot, all of this is massive. So he's a beast when it comes to this.
He's only winning 2.5 headers per game, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So he's gonna have to double that in the Premier League to 4 headers per game.
Yeah, 2.48 I see here. And just to finish off, this is his heat map so far this season, and if you compare it on the other side, you have Casemiro. So when you look at him play, he's more controlling the central area up and down, the way you like it too. So,
exactly. Problem we've got, guys, is he's French. He's likely to be there or thereabouts in the World Cup. He's likely to be quarterfinals, semi-finals, maybe even final, isn't he? If you don't do the deal this side of the World Cup and he wins the World Cup, what's he going to be after the World Cup? He's one of those players, a bit like Elliot Anderson, Nuruddin. If we get to the quarterfinals and Anderson is likely to play from the start, isn't he? I would say. If you don't do that deal before, fuck knows what he's going to be after.
Yeah,
it's hugely problematic.
No, 100%. Listen, 100%. I think France, obviously, they went to the final last time. You would think that France is going to be looking very strong. Yeah. I do think that we have to take some of the stats with a pinch of salt, especially the aerial duels and that, because in Spain, they hardly cross the ball in the air. It's not a league where they cross the ball a lot. One thing I would say about him, he is quite. I've seen him jump out of 50-50s, and that would wind. I think Stu would lose his hair. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
He's not a guy who goes in. He's not a guy who goes into 50-50. Everything he does is super conservative in the way he does it, in the way he expresses himself. For the size that he is, he could be more physical. He could be, and that's in a league. He would look the strongest out of everybody because it's not a physical league; it's more technically based league, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think he could struggle in the Premier League. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he could struggle in the Premier League. But saying that, Casemiro's not here, and we're not getting Elliot Anderson, who's my first choice. Then I would go for Tonali. I would go back in for Baleba. I would try maybe one Wharton play in a different way. You know what I mean? So I would try those guys before I try Tchouaméni. But
see, me and you're on the same boat with that.
From what I've seen of him, he's been there with better players. And this season, Real Madrid fans have said, this is the Tchouaméni we've bought. It's just that he's come to the forefront 2 years later.
He had to, didn't he? Because Bellingham's missed half the season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So Bellingham has been. I know Bellingham plays as an 8/10 at Real Madrid, but he's always back there defending Bellingham. And Tchouaméni has stepped up. I'll agree you on that. I don't. He has been better this season. He's been at Real Madrid, 2 years, 3 years? Minimum 2. Minimum
3 years, I would say. 3 years.
Yeah. They bought him, if I'm not mistaken, him and Camavinga were bought at the same time.
Same time, weren't they? Yeah. And so, I look, I was on here a few weeks ago, Nuruddin, and I would still look at Baleba. I know people would absolutely go nuts about that, but there's a player in there. Really
I would as well. I would. He's young enough, and young players, their forms go like that. People don't remember Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs burst onto the scene, was phenomenal, and then the season after we hardly ever saw him, and then there were certain times in his career where he was getting booed at Old Trafford.
Lee Sharp, the same. He came in, didn't have a stellar season, up and down, up and down. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So it's going to be hugely interesting what we do between now. I agree with that, Yolam. I mean, I think he's as good a sign at Liverpool as well, Wharton. And
but Stu, the criticism of Wharton is probably too similar to Mainoo. So as a midfield pairing, it wouldn't work. That's what people are saying.
I just say that I think he's slightly different. I think he's more passing the ball forward. I think Kobbie is more of a 5 yards dictating, bringing composure and getting hold of the ball and getting it off. He's more of a. But the thing with Crystal Palace player Wharton is that he physically he struggles. I've never seen him finish a game really. Around the 60th minute, I think they were saying there's something wrong with the way he intakes things and stuff like that. In terms of durability, there's something's not right. Something's not right. Yeah.
Do you know what he does, Nuruddin? When you watch Wharton play, he's an upright player. He's very upright. Now you talk about Mainoo. Mainoo's drops his shoulders, drops his head down. Wharton always stands upright when he gets the ball. He's quite an unusual technique, actually. He's quite an unusual physique. He's not playing tonight. He's not in the team. They got the 31-year-old effervescent Will Hughes still playing. Unbelievable. Really. Absolutely.
What an unbelievable technique. What an unbelievable technique
he has. Will Hughes, by the way, he's adopted the mini shin pads now as well. So he's running around with his socks halfway down his fucking legs. Brilliant to see. But that guy's been around for absolutely ages. And we talk about, in football, right, we talk about certain players, certain stature, and people have let Will Hughes just drift along because he's only played for Watford, he's only played for Palace or whatever, and not really understood that he's probably one of the longest serving players in the Premier League at the moment, if you take James Milner out the equation. I mean, he's been... As a footballer at the highest level, he's been there. He's not the best player by any stretch of imagination, but you know what you get with him. And we almost need that type of player at Manchester United, not Will Hughes, by the way, but that type of footballer to come in and be that consistent. Do you know what? He is probably the midfield Dennis Irwin in terms of consistency. You kind of know what you're going to get with Will Hughes in terms of performance. And we need that as a six. Whoever we get, we must have that type of performer as a six.
To bring in stability. But by the way, it's not me saying Wharton is too similar to Mainoo. It's reports. This came out tonight from Telegraph, James Docker saying, Wharton has been heavily scouted by Man United, but it's thought to be considered too similar to Kobbie Mainoo to be a natural partner in the deeper midfield position.
I fundamentally disagree. That they're misprofiling him. They're misprofiling
him, yeah.
And they're misprofiling Kobbie as well. They're misprofiling Kobbie. Kobbie's actually, when you watched him in the youth team back in the day, he was more of a number 10 actually. He was the guy that would create something up the pitch. And he actually played as a youth player. He played on the wing. That's why he's really good in tight situations. He can, he's got that when he can got the double touch to get out, that skill where you touch the ball. Bam, bam, with the 2 feet and then get out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I've seen him now as a six.
Yeah.
In the youth team. And, on pre-season, I've seen him play as a six. I thought he was okay as a six, If you got the right players around you, you can survive.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just checking. I thought I heard my cat try to knock on the door. He knocks on the door when he wants to come back in.
Bless him.
But no, 100%. I see Wharton exactly like you said, left-footed, always looking. You know what? Yeah. You know what Wharton reminds me of? Michael Carrick and Kobbie.
Yeah. He was a tall player. He stood tall.
Michael Carrick, punching the ball through the last thirds. Punching it on the angle on his left foot. That's who I see him as. And he's not even good on a tackle. He needs to learn better. To close, cut out the passing lanes. That's what he does more. But him and Kobbie are totally different in terms of the body, the physique, the body movements, in the way they play. Kobbie, like we saw him against Chelsea, he was getting the ball when we needed to, just to calm the ball down, calm the play down. He was getting it, giving it, making that movement, making that angle, playing it back, playing it sideways, pushing it a bit forward. Kobbie plays in 5 yards forward, 10 yards forward.
He does.
5 yards sideways, 10 yards backwards, comes and receives it, punches it in again. And he likes to combination play. Wharton gets on the ball. Wharton, in the middle of the midfield, he'll drive a little bit and he'll punch it in.
Yeah. What you just said there, though, is everything a great 6 does. 5 yards, 10 yards max. 10 yards max with his passing. But he moves to get it back. And then he pops it off 5 yards. Then he'll get it back 10 yards. And then he'll stay. He'll hold his position. That's exactly what. But the thing about Mainoo in his optimum is he has 5 yard space around his entire body. He has this circle when nobody can touch him within 5 yards. It's unreal when he's on his game. Unreal. He's got no pace.
Yeah,
got no pace.
You know what? That's why he was brilliant against Chelsea.
He was fantastic against Chelsea. He was amazing against it. Best game I've seen him play, really. And as I said earlier,
aggressiveness to win the ball back. The way what he was doing, I watched the game again, by the way, and the aggressiveness to win the ball back. When the game is on TNT Sports, you can watch it back if you watch it. You know, if you got the app. So I watched the game again, and I was just focusing on Kobbie, and that's one of the most aggressive I've seen Kobbie in the tackle. He was super aggressive,
hard in the tackle. But what I liked about him, he played both corners brilliantly. Get the ball, move it, didn't panic, wins it, drops it 5, gets it 5, pushes it 10. How many times did that on the right hand side?
I don't know whether you guys think, but I 100% believe that he would play so much better if we didn't have a number 10, and if we didn't have a Bruno. If we play 4-3-3 and Kobbie had 2 other midfielders to play off of different attributes to him, right? I think he would be brilliant. And I actually think you could have 2 tackling number 8s up and down. Like you could have Anderson and a Tonali, or Anderson and a Baleba to play next to Kobbie. Yes.
Yeah, so you're talking about Modric, Casemiro, and Kruna. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I can see that. 100%, I can see that.
Yeah.
Or even Newcastle, the way they interchange. You know, and Joe Linton,
yeah.
This came out on X today. This Kobbie Mainoo. Look at him taking down Cole Palmer here. That's fantastic defending. I would say so easy. You know, he just and people, you know, that's why by Amorim, he didn't like him, didn't rate him. He thought he was too slow. He couldn't do the defensive job. But you know, he was totally wrong. We saw it against Chelsea. Kobbie Mainoo was effing brilliant in the way he played the game. I said this right after the game, Stu. I sent you a message. Kobbie Mainoo, the best game I've ever seen.
Yeah, him and Heaven, top draw.
So also this situation you see here, 37, Kobbie Mainoo goes into, I think it's Caicedo. Look at him. And he's in total balance all the time, and he knows knows his surroundings. You know, for me, you know, that's
football. That was there. Nice little, you know. I know it bounced off his shin.
Yeah,
that one pass, but he controlled it, and he knew what to do with it. Absolutely, he was. It's funny, really, because I was criticising him at Neriden on Friday night, but we were right to criticise him because he hadn't been playing well for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks.
100%.
And then all of a sudden, he switched the tap again, and I'm wondering, ladies and gentlemen, how much it had to do with Mr. Heaven being on the pitch, because since Heaven was out of the team, Kobe's not been the best. All of a sudden, Heaven comes back in. I got zero idea what the correlation is, by the way. I got zero idea. But I tell you what, after 10 minutes, Heaven stepped up to a different level. I've got, you know, we're away. We got Brentford, haven't we, Monday night? It's likely to be Heaven. And I would keep it, by the way. I would keep defence as it is.
Yeah.
To be brutally honest, I wouldn't change it because Heaven, deserves to be in that.
Yeah, I think you just bring Maguire back and Maguire and Heaven to play.
You take Mazzari out. Yeah, is Maguire? Did he only get a single match ban?
No, he got 2 in it, so he's
two. So he's back then. Yeah, you would. But Heaven was.
Yeah, no, Heaven to me. Yeah, in my thing, match reaction, Heaven got man of the match. I was like, Kobbie for me showed the level of aggressiveness, of physicality that I've not seen in a while. The last time I saw Kobbie play, that was against City in his first game back. I thought City, he was brilliant in the derby.
He was.
But it could be that, you know what, he thinks another young player's on the pitch. I don't want this guy to outshine me. Sometimes that's how things work. I know Sharp would do that sometimes. They go, "Oh, Giggs is not outshining me today."
All the time. Yeah.
I want the fans going home talking about me, not Giggs.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what they want. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So no, I was pleased. I was pleased for both of them. I really was. I mean, as I say, having had a dodgy 10 minutes, he really did, bless him. He was all over the place.
He was lucky in the beginning. You came in with a sliding tackle right on the edge of the 18-yard box on Palmer, I think it was, and the referee didn't give anything. But
got away with it.
It could have been a penalty even.
But he then grew, didn't he? His peacock feathers. He got his tail out, and he was fucking immense after that. He was so good, so good, so pleased.
Yeah,
the thing what excites me, if he can stay fit, Evan, is that he's gonna get stronger. He's gonna fill out more. He's gonna get more athleticism. He's going to get he's gonna be able to learn to jump, time the headers. I think he could be phenomenal if he can increment in terms of like really developed. The biggest thing what could be Heaven's downfall is the injuries, because and I know that when you're having that growth spurt, you don't stop growing till you're 20.
And he's a big lad. He's tall and gangly, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gangly. And I experienced a lot of that. I was tall for my age, Yeah. My growth spurt came, and I struggled. I would be like in bed sometimes as a kid, like 14-year-old, crying because my legs were hurting, my hips, my knees,
so
my
much
ankles,
pain,
because you were growing out. But that would be the biggest thing for me, the injuries. I genuinely do rate Lenny Yoro. I think Yoro is just taking him a bit longer, and he's going to adapt to Manchester United. And I think developmental plan is what's needed for both him and Heaven. And you're only good as your developmental plan at the club you're at.
Yeah, I just want to see
some players can't improve by themselves. They have to be guided. They have to partake in it. They have to be in it, but they have to be given a plan of what you're doing. Both of them are not going to go. Like I expect Yoro to come back hench next year, because he's not going to the front unless they have injury crisis.
No, he's a 21 player. He's a 21 player. Isn't he?
So Heaven as well. I don't expect to go. So I'm expecting him to come back. There are certain players I'm expected to come back hench next season and physically ready to go. And it could be like him and Yoro. I'm not giving up on Yoro. I'm not. There are things that I see in his game that I think there is not many centre halves in Europe.
His last ditch tackling.
The speed over the last 20 yards, is unbelievable. I don't see many centre halves having that, other than Van Dijk, really, in his prime 4 years ago at Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to say something about Heaven, actually. And what I want to see him do, Strange, and you're going to laugh at this, I want to see him sort his hair out. So he doesn't misplace his headers, because he's misplacing his headers slightly because it's coming off the bunch on his head. In fact, that's the reason why Van Dijk, by the way, everybody, slicks his hair back. That's for that reason, so he gets clean contact. So I'd like to see Heaven do something along those lines. It's really important, guys. I tell you, as a centre half.
I think that's his worst attribute as a centre half, because, like I said, in France they don't cross the ball a lot either. In the continent, they don't put balls into the box as much as they put in the Premier League. And I think 100% him and Heaven, both of them, need to adapt to that. How do they become dominant in the air? How do they improve? Because unfortunately, say whatever you want, bring tiki-taka, that is still a massive element of English.
You should be learning off Maguire, though, shouldn't you? If you're Heaven and you're right, you should be learning off Maguire. You should be saying to him, just teach us, your spring. How do you spring? Where's your dominance? I know we're never going to have a head as big as you. So what can I do with my small head?
The big thing for me with heading, Stu, you know that it's all about the technique. Once you get it, the timing.
Technique.
Once you understand the timing of the headers.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Guys, just talking on the next game, report came out that Lenny Yoro and Mateus Cunha will be fit to face Brentford. And Yoro missed the Chelsea game due to small knock in training. The rumors said as Yala comes in and say, wasn't he supposed to be out for the rest of the season? But apparently he will be back in the next game. So we will have a couple of options, Heaven, Yoro, Maguire, who will be back in the next game. So again, I know you both answer it, but who would you prefer as the midfield partnership in the next game?
The midfield? Oh, you mean the centre back?
No, the centre back partnership.
I mean, no, Heaven stays for me. Heaven stays. You go with Maguire. You play well. You should get the next time. I think it should be him and Maguire. And to be fair, if we don't need to use him, give Euro more time to recover.
But guys, just one thing. We know we are up against Thiago, the Brazilian guy. He's been doing really well for Brentford this season. It's not the Lap, the Lap is the Højlund of Chelsea. So again, he didn't actually quite target Heaven in a way that I was hoping for or looking for. And the same as we know with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So again, should Heaven play this game?
Yes.
I personally
could be exposed.
Yeah, I think Petro would have done more. Petro would have took him into the pockets where Heaven's not. He's not learned that yet in terms of where to be dragged into. And I thought Petro was going to play, but I didn't know Petro was injured. He was
injured. Yeah.
So I didn't know that he was injured, and I was thinking, but I think Thiago is a very, very clever.
He's strong. He's a big guy, Igor Thiago.
You can't
he's off the boil, isn't he?
If United wanted a second striker, I would get Thiago. Honestly,
he's off the boil though, isn't he? He's not playing as well as he did earlier on in the season. So I got no problem playing Heaven.
And away from home, Brentford are a different team as well.
They are, yeah. I got no problem playing Heaven and Maguire. I would keep Dallo in. To be fair, I would play Heaven, Maguire, and I would play Shaw. That's what I would do. And then you're going to play. I know we'll go through this later on in the week, but then you play your middle three, and Ahmad needs time out the team again. He just didn't perform for us, so he needs time out the team. And you go with three of Cunha, Sesko, and
Mbeumo.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't change it hardly. I'd bring Maguire back in though, 100%. Bring him back in.
Okay. But I felt so much more comfortable playing with Masraoui as a centre back. We had the right hand side with Mbeumo, Masraoui, and Dallo. They actually had a connection, and we played through the interchanged. I loved what Dallo did a lot of the times. He inverted, opened up the alley for a direct pass from Masraoui to Mbeumo, who was dropping down, and we created so many good plays. We played ourselves out from the back on that right-hand side, and we don't see it on the left-hand side. It's not the same when you play Cunha, Luke Shaw, and Heaven. Even though Heaven, he likes to break the lines, but he found Kobbie Mainoo most of the time centrally. So again, our left-hand side is not actually working at the moment in the way we like to see. And I'm sometimes a little bit disappointed by Cunha because I think he inverts too soon. So we have no width on that left-hand side. So did you guys see it? Or
yeah, but I don't think we're playing Cunha in his right position. His rightful position is he loves to take it deep as an 8. That's his best position. Playing him out wide, for me, I think you lose Cunha. I think you lose what you get from him. When he picks it up from deep, I know he runs into blind alleys, but he gets you 20, 30 yards up the pitch at each time. His transition play is what you buy Cunha for. And when he gets in the right place, he can finish when he's on his game. But I think when he's out on the left, he's isolated way too much. And he picks the ball up way too deep on the middle third. And he's kind of level with the 18-yard box, but almost on the touchline by the time Luke Shaw gives it to him. So I don't know what you're supposed to do with the ball there.
Yeah, but isn't that a problem for Carrick? You know, his players are not doing what he wants them to do. Cunha is just playing vibes and his own game. Then he's part of a team and should be keeping the width because it's vital for the positional play and the rest of the team.
Don't play Cunha then if you're going to keep him wide, because that's not his game. His game is drill it from deep. Every time he picks the ball up from deep, he runs you 30, 40 yards. Every time. That's what you need. That's the importance of what Cunha can offer. And on the odd occasion, he'll go around, he'll skip around two players, he'll hit a shot, and it might go in, or he might at the bar, he might get it wide. But chances are he'll pick it up just outside the 18-yard box, and he's away. When he's so pressed because of the way that Luke Shaw is, when he's pressed on the left-hand side, deep to the touchline, we don't see the best of Cunha. If you think about it, we were saying a few weeks ago, why the fuck is Mbeumo on the left? He's better on the right. He was more involved. Still, I didn't think Mbeumo had a great game against Chelsea, by the way. I thought he was, a bit subpar personally. But we played him in the right position. I'd rather see Cunha in, actually, and maybe push Bruno out wide. But then you're going to lose Bruno's, I don't know, what's he got to get? Is it 2 more assists to break the all-time assist record? Actually, I'm going to say, Jarvis, the all-time pass record.
By the way, but I actually think Bruno's good from either side on the side where he can whip balls in, especially if you've got Sesko in the box. So I would go with that idea. It took me about 15 minutes to work out what we were doing actually against Chelsea, because I was like, okay, we're playing 4-5-1. We're playing on the Chelsea's anxieties and their recent horrendous form, and we're gonna sit in mid block, low block, and counter attack them. And we were not interested in the ball in the first 15, 20 minutes.
We weren't.
Just like, okay,
no, we weren't.
Yeah, I just want to take the time and ask you guys, please, to do us a favor and smash the like. We have 100 people approximately watching at this time, so we are on 34 likes. So if everybody could do us a favor, just smash that like, at least get us up to 50. That will be great. Yeah. Thank you. You guys, you are talking about something, but when I look at football, Stu, we talked about this. I would say a couple of weeks ago about vacating the midfield, leaving a gap for the forward players to drop into. And I think we did this a lot of the time, because every time we played out from the back, both centre-backs went wide. They went to the corner of the 18-yard box line on both sides. They stretched out Palmer and Delap, and we brought our fullbacks a little bit higher. And then there was time for Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro to drop down. But it didn't quite work. It only worked when Kobbie Mainoo dropped in between the centre-backs. Then suddenly Chelsea's press shape went like from this to this. And there were spaces for us to find centrally, or as I said, on Mazraoui's side to Mbeumo. So again, I like this new approach, because we always seen the 4-2 build-up phase with Carrick, but now we always played like a 2-2 build-up phase with high fullbacks. And what we get when we do something like this, we get a big space centrally that's open. So we almost vacate the midfields. We pushed Enzo and Caicedo really high up the pitch. So when everything happened, it happened behind them, and then they had to track back. So I liked what Carrick actually tried to do in this game. And we saw it a couple of times, especially in Mbeumo, dropping down, receiving 1-2 touch, and then just bombing on into the space behind Chelsea. So again, it's good to see Carrick mixing up his tactics, and it actually worked at times, I would say.
It did. I didn't like it, actually. Contrary, I didn't like it at all, because it's wasted seconds. Absolutely wasted seconds. So what happens is, you're absolutely right, by the way. We split our 2 centre halves. Brilliant. I like that. But Heavens are waiting for the ball. So he trots alongside to the edge of the 6-yard box, and then he gets off Buendia. He gives it back to Buendia, and he goes across. I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Now, you're absolutely right about the way that we bamboozled Chelsea by that, because I think we bamboozled ourselves at times and completely bamboozled the commentary team, because they're thinking, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, I was really quite confused about it. And we almost fell foul of it on 2 or 3 occasions. Chelsea did I think it might have been the second or third time we did that. They got quite close to Lamans, didn't they? If you remember, Lamans almost gave a couple of things away. So I do agree with you, and I do understand his mechanism of confusing Fernandes and Caicedo. By the way, I thought Caicedo was superb for Chelsea. I thought he was brilliant for Chelsea. Really, really good. But it didn't really get us anywhere as much as it should have done, in my opinion. So I would rather...
For me, Stu, just to bulge in, is because I think Cunha and Bumo and even Bruno Sesko had a sloppy day at work. They were too sloppy on the ball. And we had our chances. We could have exploited it a lot of the times, but their touch was too heavy. They were losing the ball at times. But it doesn't matter, because the tactic or the play worked. How we managed to play ourselves into those positions.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, a Pedro, you wouldn't do that with João Pedro on the pitch. You're right about Delap. Different type of player, but Pedro's on there. He's an animal. He's going to be doing that. It didn't work. Wouldn't have worked with Tanaka against Leeds, because he would have just been fucking zipping in and out, and he would have got it. So there are certain players you can do it against, certain teams you can't do it against. But I must admit, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I don't like that. I don't like this passing out from the back anyway. You know this. We've had plenty of conversations about it. I don't like it. I think it needs to be mixed up a lot better. I think Lamans has got a throw on him. I'd rather see him go long with a throw. You don't always have to kick it out your hands, kick it off the deck, go short. I'd like to see him lob a throw out. He had 3 or 4 occasions, Lamans, and by the way, he's told not to do this, so I'm not having to go at Lamans here. But he had 3 or 4 occasions where he's got it, moved it, out you go to Dalot or Shaw or Kobbie. You're right about the space that Kobbie was able to get because of that split. So I'd have quite liked to have seen a bit more productivity, because for me, it does waste time. And the other thing about it is, when you do go out from the back, and we never press them at the back, if you notice, by the way, we don't press them, the opposition, at the back the way they press us. And I've always been confused about that. So Carrick is clearly watching the same game as me and you, and he's seeing what's happening with their press, and yet we don't do that. We allow them to come 30 yards before we might make a movement in their zone, rather than what they do, what opposition does to us, and they push and they push and they push and they push and they push.
They're very front foot, Chelsea, in the way they play.
Yeah. Got no problem with it. That's how they should be. They should be like that.
But Sue, this is the concept we talked about. This is the space we are talking about, the central space. Because when Lamans was on the ball, our centre backs moved wide, splitting up the two number 9 and 10, and our 2 number 6s dropped deep. So Enzo and Caicedo had to follow them high up the pitch, and then we got this space, because our forward front 4 pushed Chelsea. So we kind of split the team in a defensive side and a offensive side. And a lot of times you could see us trying to drop down to receive the ball. And also, if Caicedo saw this and dropped down, Mainoo received the ball. So we had our way to play ourselves out from the back a lot of the times. And it's mainly because of this, the way we split into a defensive side and an offensive side, and we leave this big gap centrally. And I think that concept is quite interesting, and I would like to see more of it. And you could also see an astute manager as Pep Guardiola doing something similar for Manchester City yesterday against Arsenal, also make it very hard for Arsenal's energetic press play, and he found a way, either dropping down Rodri or dropping down Bernardo Silva, or playing it out wide to the wide centre back, and they are overloading with the centre back and the winger against one winger of the opposite side pressing. So again, there is a way.
Yeah, the problem we had there, though, that's why Caicedo had a lot of the ball, because of all that dead space. It was dead space. Caicedo funneled back a lot of the times and picked up the loose ball. Or if there was as you're quite right, by the way, Sesko was dispossessed. How many times was he dispossessed by? Yeah. And then it was going to Caicedo, wasn't it? More Caicedo than Fernandes. I mean, I don't know I don't know what Enzo Fernandez was doing on the pitch, really. For the amount of space that he could have had, I thought he was fucking abysmal, quite frankly. And Neto was one there.
I have to disagree a little bit, because I think he was quite good in finding the pockets, because when we pressed with the front four. We had the 2 and a 4, so we almost pressed in a 4-2-4 formation, not in the usual 4-4-2. So we had a line of 4, and he found the space, so they could break the lines with the passes to Enzo a lot of the time, and he could turn with the ball and face us.
Yeah, I don't think he delivered. I'll tell you who I thought was one of the better, apart from Casado. I thought Neto had more influence on the game for Chelsea. But it's the interesting thing. They did fuck all with it, which is great for us, because I didn't think Cole Palmer was much cop either. I was really quite surprised at how bad Cole Palmer was. But I see what you're saying, and I totally agree. And I think it was something he was trying that was new. I'm not saying we got away with it, because I don't think, ultimately Chelsea were the better team.
Look at this. This is an example. I did my preparation. I always do when it comes to this. And again, you see Enzo Fernandez just finding the pockets behind our pressing front 3 or front 4 a lot of the times. Cunha is supposed to be here, but he's a little bit deeper at this time. And Enzo, he receives the ball, turns with it, and tries to pass, but it didn't quite work for Chelsea. But he found the spaces, he found the openings and the pockets, and we struggled a little bit because of this.
Again, we weren't pacey enough in the middle. That little section you said there, and Mbeumo jogged instead of running and getting a tackle in on him, and he wouldn't have progressed any more than 5 yards if we were pushing in and around the middle. So it's one of those for me. And we weren't great, in that particular area. I don't think we're brilliant ourselves. It was always congested. Whenever we had the ball in there, it was relatively congested. Whenever Chelsea had the ball in there, it was a little bit more open.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this, Nordin, and we were talking about Enzo and, the way he found the spaces behind our pressing front 4. So Enzo, again, he managed to turn with the ball and created dangerous positions, but he was a little bit sloppy. Chelsea was a little bit sloppy. So a lot of the time it ended up with nothing.
But you're watching Mbeumo
we played on their anxieties, to be fair. I mean, they played well, but how many times did they test Lamins? How many great saves did Lamin make? You know what I mean? I've seen Manchester United play like that, and I've gone back. We've huffed and puffed, but how many times did we test? Yes, they hit the post once, they hit the bar twice, but at the end of the day, they did everything with the approach play, but the finishing was not there. And I said on my match when we rode our luck.
Yeah, we did.
But on this game, I wasn't too harsh on Carrick, because I'm like, we've got 4 centre halves out, and he's had to put makeshift defense. I don't know last time Heaven played, and the last time Masraoui played as a centre back. So
it was a big win for us. I mean, very big win.
I mean, we hardly ever win this. I remember when they used to have the car behind the goal.
Oh, fucking hell, Jesus.
I remember we got beat. Do you remember that time when we went there and Nicky Butt got sent off with Dennis Wise? Dennis got him, and then we got beat 5-0.
Yeah, fucking hell. Do I remember that? Dennis Wise was a nasty bastard, though. Yeah. He's a fucking horrible.
You know that he's from a well-known family in the East End.
But you ask Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones will tell you he thinks he's one of the hardest people he knows. Yeah, Dennis Wise. He always would say,
he's from very much like old London gangster family.
Yes.
What's the fullback? The guy who I think he's from Jersey or something.
Graham Lasso.
Half French name, Lacroix.
Yeah,
Graham Lasso. Yeah, Graham Lasso.
I can't repeat what they used to sing about him at Old Trafford.
No, you can't repeat that.
I can't repeat it on here, but yeah, I remember thinking, what the hell is that? What's going on here? As somebody in the Stratford end. I'm like, what the hell is this? God, that was football. But yeah, he was a good left back actually.
Yeah, he was decent. He was decent.
He was a good left back. He was quite aggressive. I remember he could be nasty because he played for Blackburn, didn't he? Wasn't he him fighting that time in European game for Blackburn?
Started off at Southampton.
Yeah, then he went to Blackburn.
Then he went to Blackburn.
Then Chelsea.
Now, David Batty played for Leeds, didn't he?
Yeah. Him and Batty are Blackburn. No, Batty played for Blackburn
as well. Yeah.
That winning team, the one that won the league and went to Europe.
Yeah,
I think
he was
the UEFA Cup.
Yeah,
he might have been the Cup Winners' Cup or UEFA Cup. They started fighting on the pitch.
Yeah, and Sheeran up front, they were fucking amazing.
SF. Remember the FS? I remember one glory hunting Black City fan who became a Blackburn fan kept telling me the SS are gonna destroy you. Like, shut up.
Unbelievable. Did they pay $5 million for him, Shearer, or 3.5?
I mean, the mad thing about Sutton is that when they were short in defence, he would play. I don't remember that many. Yeah, and I never remember that many strikers who scored that many goals that could actually play centre. But I don't remember many.
Yeah, it was amazing. He played for Norwich a few times, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like a Ruud Gullit going and being in a number 10 and then playing as a sweeper.
He started as a centre half. Chris
Sutton.
Yeah, and then he played up front.
I remember Norwich. Remember Norwich when they were when they came up, or when they were in the league, when they were challenging United. He scored like 22 goals or something like that for them.
Him and Roll Fox were
and Gus, Jeremy Gus.
Jeremy Gus back by Munich. Yeah, they had the Scottish keeper Brian Gunn in nets, didn't they? Don't forget old Brucey, our very own Brucey was at Norwich.
Yeah. I remember, honestly, I remember the league being United with the three teams who were challenging for the league was Aston Villa, Norwich, and Manchester United.
Norwich.
Yeah.
When you tell people Norwich were challenging for United for the Premier League, and we were sweating. I remember we had to go there and win. We had to go to Norwich and win.
And we did 3-0.
And we did.
Yeah. Was it 3-0 or 3-1? Cantona was immense.
Cantona being man of the match, I remember.
Yeah, Cantona was immense. And I always remember it because Norwich had yellow nets at that time. Fantastic.
They had the notorious striker Robert Fleck. I don't know if you remember him.
He was Scottish,
Robert
Fleck. Jamie Goss. Yeah, the kit was fucking vile. It was horrible. It was like yellow, specky green, wasn't it? It was fucking horrible. Green shorts. Oh, terrible.
I just remember Rolf Fox kept scoring.
Rolf Fox, amazing player. Amazing player.
I wonder where he is now.
Yeah, an amazing player he was. And had what was it? Walker was their manager. Was it? I'm going to say Mike. Was it Mike Walker?
I think it might have been Mike Walker. Yeah.
Ian Walker was his lad. He played in goal for Everton, didn't he? Ian Walker and Tottenham. Played in goal.
Norwich only reminds me of one player, and that's the Norwegian Alexander Tetti, the midfielder who's always scored against us. Alexander Tetti.
Yeah, good player.
If you remember his name.
I don't recall that at all. Fucking hell. Wow.
Yeah, he scored, I think we must have scored against us at least three times.
Bastard.
Yeah. So this is his name, Alexander Tetti.
Oh, Tetti. Sorry, I thought you said Ketty. Tetti.
No,
yeah,
Tetti.
Yes. Yeah, so I remember him.
Yeah. Guys, let's just go through some of the other news, and we can talk more about the Chelsea game afterwards. So the Tchouaméni rumors, we will see, maybe it will be, maybe it won't, but there have been other rumors, and we have been linked to a young fellow. His name is, I have to use my, what's his name again? Where did I go? Give me 2 seconds. I will find it. I have so many clips out there, so. There we go. His name is Ju Being. I don't know if you ever heard about him, but Francolina Ju.
Never heard of him.
Francolino Ju. So
where does he play? Sorry, Jarvis. Where does he play?
I think he plays for Frankfurt.
Is he a striker or a winger?
I don't know. So if any of you have heard about this guy, you have any info, it will be interesting because.
Well, that's a way, Jarvis. You know how if you're his agent or his representative, how do you get him? You let him know that he's in a transfer market, and to get him more money at the club or whatever. You put his name out there with Manchester United, so everybody goes, "Who the hell is this guy?" You understand? Other agents of clubs and other clubs watch the players that we're linked with and sign them.
Mr. Vavell, help me, Mr. Vavell, help me.
I must. Okay, so he's from Guinea, Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, and he's plays for Midtjylland in Denmark.
Oh, he's
He
Danish.
scored 17 goals in 20 games so far this season. So this is his stats.
How
See
old
here
is
the
he?
last 3 seasons. Let's see. Overview.
Oh, yeah.
So okay, it says that he's 21 years of age. Plays for FC Midtjylland. Yeah.
I remember playing him in the Europa League back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. He's Guinea. He's from Guinea, is he?
He's forward. He plays as a forward. Yeah. So again, yeah, we linked to him. Well,
He's got a better strike
plays.
record than Haaland.
His agents played a blinder. Link Manchester United with him. Let all these teams
he's played
in
20,
the championship now.
Did you see that? He's played 20 matches this season and scored 17 goals.
Massive.
In 20 matches.
What's the standard of the? What's better, Jarvis? The Danish league or the standard in terms of the Norwegian or Danish league?
Wolves are gone. Wolves are down.
I think it's kind of similar, but maybe the Danish league is a little bit better overall. Yeah.
The Wolves are down. Official.
Yeah, because they drew tonight, innit? West Ham and Palace drew tonight.
Yes. So Wolves are gone. Tottenham are in big trouble now with West Ham winning, drawing. Big trouble. Big trouble.
Oh, so the game is over.
Yeah, Tottenham have got to play us. Don't forget, Tottenham have to play us. So
do we?
We've got to play Tottenham, haven't we? Don't we?
No,
no. Sorry, I'm thinking about the women's.
No, yeah, we played them twice.
Yeah, we play the women. Man United play Tottenham this weekend, don't they? In the women's,
I mean, Skinner needs to go for me, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think he's had his time, hasn't he? I think, yeah.
And do you know that a lot of the things were coming from his number 2? That season we did really well. You know, the season we went to the final and we won. It was his number 2, and apparently he went back to, I think he could become a national team coach, or I think he might be one of the Scandinavian coach.
Yeah.
Stu, I've not seen you for a while.
Yeah.
Where do you stand with Carrick getting the job next season? Are you with it or are you against it?
I'm against it.
Me too.
I'm against it. There's only, I keep boring people with my only choice. The only choice for me is this: Ancelotti with Carrick as his number 2 for 2 years, and then Ancelotti retires, and then Carrick takes over. It's the only piece of stability we can do, and it's not going to happen. So that's what I've been telling Jarvis that for ages. What I want.
I'm exactly the same. I've said that even with Ancelotti, I said Ancelotti just to do the man management and to get really good coaches around.
Yeah, it's the best way.
And that's if Ineos and Glaciers are going to spend money that we need the 7 or 8 players. Do you agree with me that we need 7 or 8 players this summer?
I said to Jarvis 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And everybody in the chat, we need to go and get the very, very best manager. We need to spend 500 million. Fuck it. We have to do it. We've got to do this is for me the most critical year
100%.
we've had, because we are Champions League. We need 2 more wins and we're Champions League guaranteed. Okay. We will not survive with the Champions League with that squad. We have got to rip it to pieces and spend the money. Liverpool did it, and I know people are having a pop at Slot, but he's still got them into 5th place. Still going to get them Champions League football. They might even overturn us and Villa yet, Liverpool. Who knows? Because let's face it, the PGMOL, played on until Liverpool scored. You can imagine them on VAR, just play on. Like Liverpool need to win this. Keep playing, keep playing. 100 minutes. Do me a fucking favour. Come on, do me a favour. We must do that, and we must go out and we must get and spend the money. We won't do it. We all know we won't do it. And Jarvis is right. We'll end up with Carrick. We all know we're going to end up with Carrick. We know it, but I don't want him. I want him to go and spend 15 million to get Ancelotti out of his. And he will come to Manchester United. Carlo would. His son is brilliant. But, his son did wonders for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
and Carrick needs to fucking swallow his pride and stay and just sell. That's what you need to do. I don't want Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
I don't want Carrick. I would go with Iraola, and I think Jarvis is onto something with Iraola. but I think he's Newcastle bound. Actually, Iraola. I just got a feeling he's Newcastle bound. I could be wrong.
I would take.
so many
I'm not
clubs.
gonna lie to you. I would take Eddie Howe. I always liked him from back in the day. I always thought he played similar to what Manchester United, aggressive football, front foot wingers. I would take him, but to me, it's about the recruitment. Going back to what was it? God damn, I've lost my train of thought. There was a question that I was going to ask you. Oh God. God. The thing about, for me, Michael Carrick, is that this is it. Yeah, the Steve Holland. All of a sudden, Steve Holland is supposed to be some incredible coach. And I watched England for the past 10 years, and England were dull to watch. I'm sorry to say, but at times they were dull to watch. When it mattered, they were dilly-dallying. They weren't going for it. There was nothing from the bench. And I see the same thing where Carrick is going to Steve Holland. And I'm like, there isn't any of this. Let's go. Make the substitutions. The in-game management is not there. And to me, that alone disqualifies you. Because the biggest thing, if you're coming in under the banner, Stu, of Manchester United know-how, Manchester United DNA, if you're not doing what the DNA is, one of the biggest, one of the number one fundamentals of the DNA is throw the kitchen, the sink, the baby, the bathwater, all of it.
Which we're not doing. And we know we're not doing it. We, when you look at our loss to Leeds, we put someone on it 78 minutes.
I'm not going to lie to you. And Steve Holland reminds me similar of Arteta. This is about control. You need to have control, pragmatism. I don't want pragmatism. I don't want that. Pragmatism in the right phases of the game, not throughout as a tactic. I don't want that. I want proactive in-game management. I want a coach and coaching staff who are going to look at and go, hey, boys, we're getting battered on the left here. Because we do it in Sunday League, even at the lowest level, lowest level. We do it. We're like, boys, we're getting battered here. Can you just not run up there? Can you just tuck in a little bit and just stay with me for 5 minutes till we get a bit of control, get the momentum back in the game? Then you can go and fly. Like those conversations used to happen, and I just don't. Yeah, honestly, I don't see it. In a different way, I don't see it. I just. Yeah, I mean, and also the biggest thing for me why I'm not Carrick is the sentimental thing. We're going through the same emotional toil and the same thing that we had with Carrick. I'm sorry.
With all we can't do it. We can't do it.
I can't go through that again. I can't go through that again.
We'll never get off ramps.
And also because we know that Ineos were going to use that against us.
Arsenal was shite against City. By the way, they were.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Stu. That's you think they were shite, but that is the best I've seen them play in the last.
What I mean, this is what I was about to say. They're streets ahead, them two of us, and I'm talking miles ahead of Manchester United in terms of their ferocity, their intensity, their quick play, their slow play, their build up, their attacking. I mean, Arteta made huge balls up. Why he didn't bring on fucking Gyökeres to go and smash fucking Kuzanov up? I'll never know. What do you bring him on with 5 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go, or something like that? You're fighting for the title, and you're not bringing these players on. And we have this modernism in the game, and I agree with you. You see it in the very lowest level. We're getting battered up front, kick the shit out of him, or bring somebody else, put 5 at the back, do something to stop the pressure. And he didn't do it. Arteta didn't do it. And we didn't really, Carrick really didn't do it against Chelsea. We just sucked up the pressure. We hoovered up the pressure, because Chelsea lacked that cutting edge, that intensity up top. But if we don't make these sweeping changes this summer, you can forget about winning the league, seriously, because we just ain't in that ballpark. We really aren't. And that's sad to say. Like you say, it's the best that Arsenal played for a long, long time, but could have played better. They could have played better. Very strange.
Yeah. Talking about that game, guys, you all saw this situation with Haaland, and the PGMOL yet again failed to give a red card with an obvious situation. We all saw this hanging on Haaland's shoulder all the time, and they went into this situation. Just give me 2 seconds. I have to remove it and play it again. So we all saw this, the headbutt. looking at it from this angle, it doesn't look too bad. But looking at it in slow motion, he clearly takes an aggressive action against Haaland. And if Haaland had hit the floor, he even said so himself in the interview afterwards. Gabriel should have had the red card. But why didn't VAR intervene again? And Alan Shearer came out with this comment after the game and saying the VAR sent the referee to the screen last week, Man United game, with a tiny tug. If anything, I'm not even sure he meant it, with a tiny tug of the hair, and is sent off for violent conduct, Martinez. And yet you look at Gabriel, the way he shoved his head into Haaland's head. How on earth is that not a red card? And that's not coming from Roy Keane. It's coming from Alan Shearer. He hates Man United. Never says anything positive about Man United. And this is a clear dig against the PGMOL. So again, Stu, what's your take on this? Why didn't Gabriel get a red card for this?
So the original challenge, I didn't think there was too much on it, really. I mean, I know he goes over his top and he grabs him around the throat, but fucking it happens all the time in football. Haaland shouldn't have reacted, but Gabriel, as soon as you drop your head on a football pitch into somebody's face, it's a straight red. Now, Brentford Fulham, was it Brentford Fulham? Yes, Brentford Fulham. Paul Tierney missed a complete hair pull, didn't he? Over the weekend.
Yes,
am I not correct? He missed a hair pull. He pulled the fucking defender's hair, and he was the same ref. There's no consistency. Okay, I mean, Haaland. Look, Haaland was in his rights to do it, but Gabriel was out of order, and that is a headbutt. That is 100%. Throwing your head into an opposition's player. Now whether Haaland goes down or not is actually an irrelevance. It's a headbutt. It is a headbutt. Now, but your point you're making is right. The Brentford Fulham is right. Teams have got to start thinking about, can you sue the PGMOL for loss of earnings? Because if you lose a game and you go down 3 places in the Premier League, it's worth millions. Absolutely worth millions. What if you don't make the Champions League because we lost the game, although I think Leeds would have beaten us anyway, personally, on that night. But you lose the game because we're down to 10 men and we're outside in 6th place and we're in the Europa League. Look at that. That's fucking abysmal. Abysmal. That's fucking abysmal. The bottom right. So, yeah. I mean, Haaland, really, when you look at it with Haaland, by the way, he's actually stopping Gabriel from going over and probably breaking his arm, Gabriel's arm, because Gabriel's all over the place. He's got no control over it. So it's just nuts. It's just everything's fucking nuts. You've got fucking Liverpool. Look, he's grabbing his hair there. It's terrible. It's just blatant. It really is. It's awful. I don't know what you do with the PGMOL, Jarvis. Never did. I don't know. I don't know whether you can sue them. Can you take them to the arbitration for sport? I don't know what you do with them, but you've got to do something. Somebody has to do something with the PGMOL. They've got to. Because it can't carry on the way that it is. It just can't carry on. And it's probably Iron Titanium's right. Baby United no, it's not a red.
Well, I try to explain this to people. I have never touched anybody's hair on a football pitch. The most that I've ever done is when we jump up for a header and my arm's gone back like that I might have touched them to the side. But for me, I'm just like, Martinez, for me, I'm always like, don't give the referees an excuse, because Fergie ruined a lot of these referees. They all support teams in the Premier League. We all know that.
Yeah.
They all back it. So, and you ruined them in their 20s, ruined them in their teens, a lot of them. And they always want revenge against Manchester United. We saw it clearly with Casemiro's second season with Crystal Palace. He literally put his hand on Hughes' chest here. And then if you watch the video again, there's another guy Crystal Palace grabbing a United player by the neck like that.
Yeah, somebody grabbed Dallo. Yeah, it was Elise, wasn't it? It grabbed Dallo.
Was it Elise or somebody?
Mm.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, what the hell is going on here? So
I think it was Semenyo on Dallo.
yeah,
Semenyo, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Semenyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
somebody clapped, and I'm just like,
So the
well,
inconsistency.
It's terrible.
Inconsistency, Nora. Yeah.
It's terrible.
yeah, I mean, especially against United, we know that, like, where, like I said to you, since Fergie came out and made that statement, remember, like, they need to be fitter and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
The referees in this country have never given Manchester United anything. We know
It's
that.
it's terrible at the minute. It's just blatant, isn't it? Absolutely blatant.
Yeah, there is certain blatancy to the way that. Yeah, I mean, the idea that you're giving a ban, even though I criticized him, he should know better. Maguire, after you've been sent off, keep your mouth shut, go down the tunnel, and just get on with it. But the way that how every football, you know how many times professional football, all throughout football, where people swear at the referees, like in a throwaway off, like F off, you know what I mean? Like that happens all of the time, and that you getting it. That's like they're going after United. The same thing with Casemiro. They went after Casemiro. They made it their thing to go after Casemiro.
Van Dijk got away with it, didn't he? Backtrap into referees when he was sent off.
Yeah. Oh my God,
he got away with it. He didn't get an extra match ban.
Yeah. Like that's what I was saying. That I think Maguire is the only person I've heard telling somebody to F off and to get. So you know that we're a marked club. I don't think people want us to get into Europe. I think that somebody doesn't want us to get into Europe or Champions League. And
the UEFA.
Remember that referee that got sacked? What he was saying about like club, how he didn't like club and Liverpool and whatever.
Yeah,
they're human. Like people think that these are like they've got some special type of virtue.
Yeah,
they don't like a team. Any opportunity, boom.
Yeah.
My problem with this, Stu, is every time the referees make a decision, as they did against Martinez, they hide behind the rule book. They say according to the rule, pulling of hair is violent conduct, so it's a red card. But when the same episode happens in a different game, apparently the rule doesn't exist anymore. And for me, it's their interpretation of the rule and the inconsistency. That's what gets me, because I'm okay. Give Martinez a red card, but then you have put the precedents. You have painted yourself into a corner, and you have to give a red card every time it happens, unless
which you did this weekend. You did this weekend. It's the same fucking ref. It was Paul Tierney. It was the same ref. That's what makes it even worse. It was the same ref.
Yeah. I mean, who else came out? I think it was a Liverpool. I think it was Carragher. Somebody came out. Some other people who don't like United came out and said the Maguire thing is ridiculous. Like that he got an extra game ban. I'm like, well, these people are not United fans, clearly, and they're saying what the hell is going on.
To be fair, everybody supported Martinez, didn't they? All the pundits that hate Manchester United have said it's ludicrous. What happened. So it's nuts. It's just fucking nuts.
Yeah, and you're saying consistent. If Martinez is a red, then every other one who's touching anybody's hair is a red. Like
it's a red card.
That's the biggest thing for me. They bought it in. They don't want, and I'm one like you should respect people's hair. Don't touch people's hair. I'm always about that. But like you got to do it consistently. And for me to take it up to other than just being a one game ban, to take it into like a this 3-game ban thing, like a like a knee, you know what I mean, like a leg breaker. It's a thing, and I think that's sufficient enough. Like 2-game ban, there you go. If you touch somebody's hair, and that should be consistent, especially when you got VAR. So it's really interesting what they do to send things to VAR. But with United, since VAR, how many times have they got United players with VAR?
God, it's all the time. It's all the time. As I said, Liverpool yesterday.
And how many goals have they disallowed this season against us? Like, how many goals have we scored and disallowed, and then they come out and go, oh, well.
Well, we might have got that wrong.
That goal should not have been disallowed.
Like I said,
the one against Burnley, Martinez against Burnley.
Yeah.
And the Ahmad one, to me, that is the most blatant penalty I have ever seen in my life.
The one
I'm
against
at against Bournemouth.
Bournemouth,
He
yeah.
grabs him with both hands.
Yeah.
He grabs one and then
No
he goes, you know that one hand
No
is not enough.
penalty.
I'll grab him with two hands. And
They've
did
already-
you listen to the audio?
Yeah.
That's not enough contact there. It was exactly the same. Maguire does it with one hand. And they go, oh, he didn't touch him by the legs.
I think what they meant to say was they've already had one penalty. We can't give them another. No,
literally, the excuse the guy gives on the audio. I don't know if you two heard it, right? It was it was released. And literally within 10, 15 minutes of the game, they contradicted exactly what they said. They contradict everything they said and said, no, oh, well, this is, you're like, what? The Ahmad one, it's the most manhandling thing I've ever seen on a football pitch.
But Stonewall pen.
Yeah, but as I said, I think this is the problem, because I think a lot of we can accept if they are applying the rules according to the rule book, but the inconsistency, as we talked about the Maguire last man pushing, getting a penalty and a red card. Yeah. We saw it. Curtis Jones did exactly the same thing for Liverpool against Everton this weekend. Yeah. Last man coming in from the side, taking him down. Nothing, not even a pen, not a red card, nothing. Almost the same exact situation. So where are we going with this? Because I think VAR are over interpreting the rule book at the moment. They are looking at situations, but they are not looking at football anymore, because how they apply the rules.
The truth is with VAR, Jarvis, is you can shape a match. That's the problem. Before VAR came, you couldn't shape the match, but you can with VAR. You're able to shape a result. You really are. But
we are not saying anything. But could it be, for example, that they are under pressure from, let's say, gambling syndicates or whatever, people who want to influence the game? Because we know how much money that's involved with the game, and it could happen.
It could, but you can influence the game. You can change the face of a game with VAR easy. Any day.
We talked with Keith Hackett. He told us about the corruption in football, even back in the days. People coming in, knocking on the hotel door night before the game with the brown envelope, trying to.
It's worse now. It's just terrible. It'll get some. It'll come out in the wash. The problem is, while City are able to get away with what they're able to get away with,
and you know what, Stu, just to say a couple of minutes. Now they can do it with Bitcoin that cannot be traced.
Yeah, they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Can do it. They can do wire transfers. They don't even carry the brown envelopes anymore, Jarvis. You know how much these, like, in certain continents, the betting is huge.
Huge.
The betting is, I'm talking about millions and millions of pounds, like bets.
And by the way, we're not saying the FA or PGML is corrupt.
No.
I'm saying that. Sorry, Thomas.
Don't forget, though, guys. Betting's been around in football. Betting's been around in football for years. If you remember back in the '94 World Cup when that Colombian was shot because he scored an own goal, he was shot as soon as he got back into Colombia. You cost us millions. Bang.
He was sat at a cafe. Oh my God.
Shot because a professional footballer. Shot, because of that. Don't forget the South Korean guy kicked out of Italy. Yeah,
Italy scored the winner in injury time in the extra time.
Kicked out of Italy. That was all money based. Everything was money based. They expected to go through. He scores, you're gone out.
The 2002 World Cup when South Korea came to the semi-final. Yeah.
He was never played in Italy again because he cost them millions. This is what they do. This is what they do. But as I say, you can shape the course of a game.
I mean, do you not remember Lightsgate? The lights, floodlightsgate.
No, I forgot which thing was that.
That was linked to some sort of
it was
European and Latin American. It was like they said American. They said that in the 3 continents of the world, people were putting bets on that, for the lights to go.
Out at a certain time, yellow cards at a certain time, throw-ins at a certain time. You can bet on anything in football. It's fucking terrible.
Oh my God! And you know what? So many people are addicted, man.
Yeah. Don't forget, Jarvis. A game lives its own life. But when VAR interferes, VAR.
can change the direction.
Change the direction of the game, and that's the thing,
And this is what I'm thinking. We don't even have to see the communication they communicate and the wireless money, that Bitcoin they can put in somebody's account that are buried in somewhere in wherever.
Burner phones.
But what I want is openness. I want when I look at a game, I want to hear the communication between the VAR room and the referee all the time. I want to hear
the people in the stadium should hear that. All the people in the stadium should hear that.
Yeah, we're not getting openness. When VAR came in, if you're a referee at all levels of the game, you were able to apply to go into training for VAR. You're able to do that. And then all of a sudden, it just became the professional high level game. And you wouldn't get cheating or corruption from somebody who was doing, National League refereeing. Because
I told you the best I've seen run was that AFCON in the Ivory Coast.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Johnny Commode said, I remember an interview on TalkSports, back with a gambling addict. And he said that the reason the Premier League is so wealthy is due to gambling, particularly in the Far East. Yeah, well,
I'm surprised.
It's not a good thing, They should, Howard Webb should do his best to have openness, clarity, and fix this, because
it's been worse
at the moment it looks bad.
Yeah, it's been worse this year, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been terrible. I mean, Mike Riley was bad, but fuck me, since Howard Webb's been in, it's got even worse.
Yeah. And look at FIFA. Yeah, the corruption is insane.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah. Okay. I have other things planned. Let's talk a little bit about Bruno Fernandes. Apparently, he's the front runner for winning the PFA Player of the Year award so far, and he's the head runner right now. So I know, Noran, you're not Fernandes' biggest fan, but do you think he deserves winning the Player of the Year?
I would give it to Shirky, me personally. I know that is like blasphemy, but Shirky's got more. Shirky has got the most open play assist in the Premier League.
So that matters more than
I personally
think,
free kicks. I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. Me personally, it does. I think he's done phenomenally well. I think we were definitely not there without him. But yeah, it's a circumstance thing. I don't know him. I got nothing personally against him. I just want for the betterment of my team. I never want to play through one player. And then for me, if he was to get the Player of the Season, then it'll mean, oh yeah, he can get into any of those teams with Scott. I'm like, no, he can't. He couldn't. He could not get into any of those teams in the Fergie era, because he is positionally one of the most indisciplined footballers. And not that team were not having somebody like him. He could not get into it. They would not have somebody like him. I swear to God, they would kick off with Fergie. They would leave the club because he's the position in discipline. And for me, football is not tennis. It's not boxing. It's not golf. It's a team sport. How do you make players better than you? I don't know if you watched the interviews about Hullet, who's one of my favorite players, because he could play anywhere on a football pitch. He's the total complete footballer.
Well,
he said when he was at Feyenoord, or was he at Feyenoord or PSC, I think, with Jurgen Cruyff, the thing that he learned from Johan Cruyff was that you being good is not good enough. You need to make the players around you better. There is no point, he said, having the individual brilliance yourself. If the players around you are not playing better, then what's the point? And I think Bruno actually, on the whole of the ball, makes us look worse than we are. But people just think because of his creativity. And again, United don't have Champions League if he is not putting a creative output, he's putting in. But to me, it hurts me, and it reminds me how much we've fallen when we rely on one player. We got rid of Rashford. and we were playing through him. We've stopped that, and now we need to get rid of Bruno so that we have a team that actually, where 3 or 4 players or 5 players can create something other than just one player getting the ball all the time. Because I'm telling you now, if that was Paul Scholes is winning everything. I'm telling you now, he's becoming the assist king. He's becoming, the XG is going to be unbelievable. Paul Scholes at 25 would incredibly overshadow what Bruno's done if we only had him. Yeah. If the whole team was giving a ball to him, or when Giggs went into midfield, if the whole team was just giving the ball to Giggs, you can't tell me that Bruno is the thing about what people don't understand is that the great teams and the great players we used to have is that they didn't all have to do it. Some people just did it in different ways. And in the big games, 3 or 4 of them were alive creativity-wise. And that's why we scored so many late goals. People think that they all came from one player. No, there wasn't one player we were like, give the ball to him. Other than that season peak Ronaldo, where we were like, okay, we're going to work for him. And Rooney was like, I'm going to sacrifice aspects of my game and get Ronaldo in a goal-scoring position, and he'll win us the game or he'll win us the trophy. That was one season, but through that, we would play football other than Van Nistelrooy that season. And that's why we only won 1 league, because the whole team was working to set Van Nistelrooy up. And I don't believe in that football. I believe you should have 5, 6 players you play through. And the amount of time that Bruno has on the ball compared to what Beckham had on the ball, what Giggs had on the ball, what Scholes had on the ball, what even Cantona had on the ball. No, they didn't just give it. Dennis Irwin will create something for you. What are we doing? Gary Neville will cross in the ball. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Beckham was a bit up. Gary Neville will get you. Remember when Gary Neville consistently perfected the way to cross? It wasn't by the byline. He'll cross it about 30, 40 yards out on the angle. You know what I mean? And find Dwight York, Andy Cole. But, so, no, to me, I don't believe Bruno is this. I don't, because I've seen it. I was there in the terraces with like Stu and Jarvis. You watched it. So I don't really genuinely have anything against him. It's an indictment what Manchester United have become. And I genuinely do think
I have a feeling already most people are not agreeing with you when it comes to Bruno.
And I understand that. I understand that. I understand that. And I respect people's opinions, but I've just explained exactly what I'm trying to say to you. What people want me to do is to go back in history and only judge Scholesy on the ball. Okay, if Scholes is getting the amount of ball that Bruno, the amount of time these teams give the ball to Bruno, give the ball to Scholes, Scholes is going to be far more creative. What are we doing here? And Scholes is going to be more positionally disciplined.
Yeah, I can see why Bruno's the front runner. 100%. I can see it. I get it. The way that he's played this year has been decent, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to know who my player of the year would be?
Please.
And that would be Mr. Casemiro. Because you're talking not only goals, but you're talking defensive contribution airily, goal-scoring contribution airily. For his age, I think he's been nothing short of a phenomenon this year. This season alone for us. And I would give it to Casemiro. I understand the Shirky because he's single-handedly got City out of the hole and brought them back into this title race. And chances are City are going to fucking win it now, which is fucking. But I think Casemiro for me needs to be in that conversation. I really do. He's just been brilliant for us. I get it. I fully go with what everybody's saying about Bruno. I understand it, and I would Nuruddin, by the way, on the way that players are. But I look at I view football differently to other people. That's just the way I look at it, and I look at contribution and what he's done this year for us. You take 8 goals away, 7 which are headers, or 9 goals away, 8 which are headers. Scored more than Rodri this season. and everybody raves about Robbie, but he's been absolutely brilliant for me. So on that alone, on that basis alone of his contribution for the season, I would consider Casemiro.
Okay. Yeah, I think Casemiro is a good shout. But I agree with you, Stu, when it comes to Bruno. I think on the basis of 18 assists so far this season, I think he's a strong contender for player of the season.
Break the record, won't he?
And we know by watching almost every Man United game this season, every minute, we know that Bruno has at times carried the team in a way, at least when it comes to end result, and goals and assist counts for something. He used to be called Penandes just because scoring penalties, but now I think he has evolved his play a little bit. It's not just hand grenading the 18-yard box with crosses and through balls. I think he's better. And what we saw in the game against Chelsea yesterday, the way he took on Garnacho, went to the byline and put in that cross. That's something new I haven't seen from Bruno in a long, long time.
So I was at Carrington this morning, Jarvis, and I saw Maguire coaching Bruno because Maguire's done it 2 or 3 times this season. He's ghosted up the left in particular, and he's he got Bruno under his wing. He said, "Listen, Bruno, this is what I want you to do, mate. Just drop your shoulder, go around him. Your elbow, go around him, get that cross in. That's what I want you to do. You go and practice it, and I'll watch. I'll video record you, and I'll watch it." No, but you are right, and niche fans talking about everything being relative in football. And I totally agree, it is relative, and we've all got different pairs of eyes, and we all see the game totally differently, and I love that about football. And I do, and I can get it. But Bruno's had 18 goal scoring passes this year, and he'll probably get over 20, won't he?
But
Did you see
how he made that goal by himself, just taking on Garnacho? I think that's I haven't seen this before with Bruno. So again, I think he evolves his game a little bit. He's not the same Bruno as a couple of years ago.
We have seen him make that run this season. We saw it in the goal against Fulham.
He did,
I think that was a world-class piece of skill. What he did to the Fulham defender, who's quite physical. He gave him that dummy, didn't he? And then whipped it in. But for me, honestly, I'm not taking anything away from Bruno. But to me, the Bruno, people overhyping Bruno and telling me he is more creative than Ryan Giggs in his prime or Paul Scholes. It's just not even close. They're not even close. And people are like, a different era. What I'm telling you is that Manchester United used to have 6-7 players who were creative, who were taking turns to create for Manchester United. We didn't play through one guy. So if you said to me, put them against anybody, Cantona, Scholesy, when Scholesy was playing as the number 10, remember, around the little pass around the corner, the chipping in the goalkeeper, you know what I mean? The little dinks, the different type of finishes, the headers, all those things, people forget that about Scholes. They only focus on the last 5 years when he became the quarterback in football, playmaking. Yeah. But as a number 10, absolutely amazing goals, selection of finishes, the passing, the outside of the boot, no, you're not telling me if we were played through Scholesy would have had breaking records as well. Or if we even played through Beckham. But we didn't. We played through so many different players. And not all of them will get enough.
But Norrin, you realize they have changed the assist rules. If you take a shot, the goalkeeper saves it, and someone scores on the rebound, you get an assist. If you have a misplaced pass and it's deflected by a defender and goes to another attacker who scores, you get an assist. Back in the days, it was only a clear pass directly and then a goal that will go into a pass or an assist. So
open play assists count a lot as well because it shows me how creative you are as a player.
49 likes, people. If you haven't, do us a favor, smash the like. It's so important. I had one more topic before we want to go to the Q&A. We can do 5 minutes more and then go to the Q&A the last 10 minutes. So guys, if you have any questions, just get them in already. My question for you is this twofolded. It's the title race and the relegation battle. If I bring up the Premier League table, we can have a look. So first of all, coming to the top of the table, we have Arsenal sitting on 70 points, and City is 3 points behind them. They are playing against Burnley tomorrow, I believe. Wednesday night. So if they win that game, they will at least be leveled with Arsenal. And I think if there's leveled on goal difference and in points, it's head-to-head that counts. So then City will be on top of the table if they win tomorrow. So it will be a tight race, and there's only 5 games left after tomorrow. So who will win the league?
City. City are going to win the league. That's it.
And who do you root for?
I want Arsenal to win the league because I'm fucked off with City. I hate City. I don't want City anywhere near the league. I don't want Arsenal winning the league either, but they're the best of a bad bunch. I'd rather, I mean, it would be unbearable if Arsenal win the league. Their fans will be unbearable, but I'd rather have that than smug City lift the title.
Especially what I was hearing today when I was out there. The City fans in Manchester today.
Sick of them. Half the City fans don't know fuck all about their club. Don't know fuck all about football. If you
born again, that's what we call them, Stu. Born again.
City fans. When did you first go to the Kipax stand? They'd be like, well, what's the Kipax? Yeah. Wouldn't have a fucking clue. Wouldn't have a fucking clue about their club.
You know that my first job as a 15-year-old got a job on the Kipax.
Did you?
The turnstile Stuart, honestly.
No, but that's what it was. You know, your allegiance when you were earning money, it didn't matter, did it?
No, that's what I was saying to you. Listen, it was nearly 16. I've left home. I lived in a hostel. I had to earn a bit of money.
Earn money. To go and earn money. It didn't matter. You know, it didn't matter. I'm stood in the car watching United. Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, I tried to get a job at United as a turnstile steward. They were like, no jobs available. And the only reason why I got the job, the only reason because of the college I went to, my college, was that's where they had like the youth players used to go to my college, and that's why I got the job, because my college had a deal with them for some part-time jobs with City.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think it's important that, you know, again, it's all about earning money. All about when you're 15 years old.
At that time, 16. I was 16. Sorry, 16 years old.
It's still all about
I needed the money, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to go out. I had to try to get into the Sankeys and ban on the wall and stuff like that. I used to try. I used to get oversized clothes. Try to grow a little bumful up on my lip. Try to get into clubs. I needed the money, man. I needed the money. You know. Big up to the boys. Big up to Russia. Big up to the boys. Honestly, I got as a job first as to it.
Yeah, I don't blame.
Before that, I used to do car minding. Before that, car minding for games.
You do whatever you can.
Car minding.
You just earn money. Like,
I'll say, Jarvis, if Arsenal are going to win the league,
please,
it's the Newcastle game for me. The Newcastle game.
They're going to win.
The pressure will be on. The pressure will be on. So the City will level and go top by goal difference, whatever.
Yeah, they'll go at the top.
It's the Newcastle at home game. That is the league for me. Whether they win or lose, it's on that. They have to at least score 2 or 3 and win against Newcastle. And if they don't, then they're not winning the league.
I totally agree. I think, unfortunately, City did it yesterday. I think they turned it. I don't think Arsenal got it in there.
I actually think that's the best I've seen Arsenal play in the last 3-4 months. Honestly.
But it wasn't enough. I thought he bottled it. Arteta didn't bring in Gyökeres. Should have brought Gyökeres on 60 minutes. Honestly,
Stu, I couldn't disagree more. I think
I know he's rubbish.
I think Eze should have stayed on the pitch. I think Kai Havertz showed yesterday.
Good player, isn't he?
Gyökeres is.
Good player, Havertz. He played well.
I'm so glad. I am so glad that Manchester United did not go anywhere near that Swedish cyborg.
Yeah.
That we didn't. People were like, "Oh, get him." Look, and I remember me saying, honestly, Stu and Jarvis, I said it. I was like, he's faster and stronger than everybody else in that league, and he plays more direct. While they like to combine.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's not the guy. I said he's not the guy. He's
Yeah.
not the guy. I saw him getting bullied by PSV Eindhoven defenders, and I was like, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I just made a poll for you guys, and who will win the league, Arsenal or Manchester City?
Obviously,
Not
City
who you
will win
want to win the league, who do you believe will win the league? So you both think hope Arsenal will win the league.
I hope Arsenal win, but I'm saying to you, whether they're going to win it or not, it's in a Newcastle game, Jarvis.
I agree.
I think if they win the Newcastle, the confidence, the high they would get from that, the way they played yesterday, I think they might still have enough.
Who's got who?
So they've got two more London derbies. So they've got to play Fulham at home. They've got to play Crystal Palace away. I think that's on the final day. And I don't know what they've got in between that. But City have got Villa and Everton.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, and Bournemouth. And Bournemouth as well.
Yeah, Villa are interesting at the minute. Villa are very interesting.
Yeah. Villa and Bournemouth as well.
Yeah, oh, that's okay. That's interesting.
They got teams that can damage you and who race to the occasion. But the only thing about it is that, to me, the Newcastle game is the big game. Can they beat Fulham? And can they beat, I think, Palace on the last day? I think that's what it is. They got Palace on the last day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think City will do it, but I'd rather Arsenal do it because I hate cheaters.
Yeah. I mean, it shows you talk about brown envelopes. Where's this 115? How many years are we waiting for this PS?
Yeah, exactly.
Never happens. Will never happen. Second part of the question was the relegation battle, and we saw just West Ham drawing against Crystal Palace. So let me try see if I can bring it up. So we have here the bottom of the table. Wolves are relegated officially now. They have no mathematically chance of staying up. But in 18th place, we have Spurs on 31 points, minus 11 goal difference. We have West Ham on 33 points, minus 17. And also, I think you can include Nottingham Forest, but they're looking safe at the moment, 5 points ahead of Spurs on 36 points, and they have better goal difference. So again, I think it's between Forest, West Ham, and Spurs. Looking at the form table, Spurs have only 2 draws, 3 losses in the last 5. West Ham only have 1 loss in the last 5 games, and also Forest are doing quite well, 2 wins and 3 draws. So do you think that the Serbi effect will come in and save Spurs at the end of the season, or will they go down?
West Ham.
I think it's too late for the Serbi to save them. I think it's too late. And it'll be a miracle of miracles. I think West Ham might stay up.
I think West Ham might go, and I think Tottenham might stay. I mean,
you think about the other way. Yeah, I thought that equalizer and that mistake the other day.
Yeah,
that I think that could have been a pivotal psychologically.
See, West Ham have got to go to. They've got Everton.
They've got Arsenal. They've got Arsenal.
They've got to go to Brentford. They've got to go to Arsenal.
That's a London derby. They've got a couple of.
They've got Newcastle, and they've got Leeds. They've got West Ham have got a tough hold.
What about Spurs?
Yeah, I'm just going to have a look now, see who Tottenham have got. That's a tough one.
To me, I think the Serbi might have come a bit too late. I don't know what they were doing like 2 months ago. Like the Serbi got sacked by then. He should have been in by then. I think he would have saved it.
So Tottenham have got Wolves on Saturday.
That's a must win.
Then they've got Villa. Fucking hell. Leeds. Oh, Jesus.
Leeds away or home?
Leeds are at home.
Yeah.
Villa away. Chelsea away and Everton at home. They're both actually.
Chelsea could. That could be the way where they get sent down. Chelsea would revel in that. Oh my!
Well, Chelsea might. The way that Chelsea are playing, they might need to beat Tottenham to stay in Europe. So I think they're both. I think it could be touch and go for both. Touch and go for both. They've both got bad fixtures.
Yeah.
But on current form,
West Ham will stay up.
West Ham have got the points.
Yeah.
It will be. The Serbi did it. Remember Brian Robson with
Middlesbrough.
With West Brom, yeah. With West Brom. They will be like a miracle on the last day.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, God, yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Brian
Yeah.
Robson. Brian Robson. That
I
was
remember.
one of the craziest because everybody said they were down. And somehow they stayed up on the last day.
What about Luton Town staying up all those years ago? You can remember, everyone remembers David Pleat running on the pitch and stayed up on the last day. Unreal. Tough one, that. Tough one. Be interesting.
Who do you think, Jarvis? You asked us the question. Who's going to win the league?
I think City will win the league because Arsenal are butlers. I'm not actually rooting for anyone, but at the moment, I think City plays so much better football than Arsenal. So just from a purist point of view, I would actually go for City.
Okay. Who's going down?
I think West Ham looks better than Spurs at the moment. So based on that, I think Spurs will go down. I think De Zerbi won't save them.
I think it's too late for De Zerbi. I think they should have bought him in a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
I mean, look,
but Northern, you got to remember, this is West Ham's bread and butter. They fight relegation all the time. They know how it is. You know, the Hammers. When things the tough gets going. You know, they were almost they were doing really bad. You know, going into January. But after January, they have done okay. You know, they are, I would say, rather a mid-table team. Spurs is quite opposite. So going on the momentum and current form, I think West Ham will stay up.
Yeah, but don't forget, Spurs got a draw against Brighton, and Brighton are no mugs, and they should have beaten Brighton really. But Brighton scored 2 really good. Got that Matoma fucking volley. Jesus wept.
What would it be the biggest stadium in the Championship?
Yeah, the best by miles. Tottenham's got one of the best stadiums in Europe.
Yeah, the best in the world. Yeah, in the world.
Yeah, it's got one of the best stadiums.
But do you know what? The way their fans were singing at us, let them go down. Sorry, expressions. I love you, bro, but sorry. You celebrated that Europa League win a bit too much for my liking. Yeah, so you just hold tight in the Championship. No VAR in the Championship. I watch Championship games, you know that, just for that nostalgia.
Yeah.
I honestly big up to Lampard and Coventry. What a fantastic play.
Oh, wait, by the way, what we do need, I have to say this, is
Frank Lampard.
If Millwall go up, West Ham have got to go down. Because
my God.
Because I tell you what, the Met Police, Jesus, fuck, it's going to be carnage.
Well, even at Chelsea, every derby game's going to kick off.
Oh, yeah, Millwall, they'll just fight anyone. They fight anyone anyway, but they hate West Ham.
Yeah. The East End,
the irony of that would be brilliant. Because
you know what? I wouldn't mind West Ham going down if you get cheaper Fernandes, because I really like him.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, really, when you consider it. Because, I mean, Millwall,
and then I'm looking at, thinking, is there any players that you would want to? Let's think about it. If they went down Spurs, what players?
I'd have Fernandes, and I'd take Bowen, Jared Bowen, any day and all day. And their centre half, what's his name?
The Greek guy. He's been playing well lately.
Yeah, Mavropanos. Yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah.
I think he's fucking great.
I tell you who's been a letdown. The guy that they bought big money from Wolves. What's his name? Left-footed centre-back. English centre-back, left-footed.
Oh, yeah, Kilman. Yeah,
Kilman.
He was superb at Wolves, but he's been poor. I'd have had Kilman 4 or 5 years ago. Brilliant. Any day of the week. But he's been poor, yeah. He needs. He's missing his old mate, Connor Cody. He loves Connor Cody.
You know what? Big up to Bilal. I would go to Blackburn game with him and the Bolton game with him. I'll show him. I'll tell him to come and then we'll go. Take him to Ewood Park and the Reebok Stadium. He's never been. I'll take him to these places.
By the way, Leicester City League One bollocks of it as well. You know, it's all happening this year.
Can you imagine they're the last team to win the 3 different trophies in England?
Yeah, they will.
In the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And they're going down the League Cup, the Premier League, and the FA Cup.
And the FA Cup,
and they're in League One.
Now they're going to be in League One. I think they can just about survive, but it's not looking likely. Not looking likely at all.
Yeah, I like Bowen. Honestly, Bowen would be brilliant in the Champions League for us.
Somebody will take Bowen.
To have somebody in there, to have somebody like him, like off the bench, in games and like
fucking
starting games.
brilliant.
Oh my
Absolutely
god! So
brilliant.
imagine them getting away in a Champions League in Europe. You know, somebody on the ball breaks. We're on a transition. Bowen left foot coming in, bang.
Somebody needs to take Bowen. He shouldn't be at West Ham.
Agree.
Well, his father-in-law won't be too happy with you, Danny Dyer. He won't be too happy with you.
He's a prick. He is. I fucking hate
him. Isn't he an actor? Or
he's so funny. He's played in a lot of films like to do with football culture.
He's football hooliganism. That's what he was known for. With that Nick Love, that director, wasn't he? I can't be dealing with him.
By the way, guys, talking about the championship, the young player or the player of the championship this season will be Hayden Hackney. I think he already won it, and the latest rumor says that Everton are going in for Hayden Hackney.
I've looked into him, Jarvis. You know, I've looked into him. I tried to watch him. You know. I'm not convinced.
But it should be an easy deal to do, you know, with the Carrick connection.
Yeah,
and all
honestly, I'm not convinced. I forgot why. I looked into him and I watched him for a couple of games. And I made notes. I need to find in my notes where I put my notes.
I've seen him a couple of times. He's been average at best. I've seen him a couple of times. He's been pretty good. So I think he's one of those. I'm not sure you know what you're going to get.
Well, maybe a couple of seasons for Everton will do him well before taking the next step. Maybe
I tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, I would go and get Ghana back from Everton. Not even fucking. I love Ghana. I absolutely love Ghana. With that, I would go and offer them for 30 million, 40 million, and say, "Give me back that player." I was fuming. I don't think you guys understand. Jarvis, you remember? When we got rid of him, I was the only one who was going berserk, going, "What the F are we doing?"
Yeah, he won't come back, I don't think, unfortunately. But I don't know.
Yeah, we sold him for so we could finance Casemiro. I think we sold him 15 million or something.
15, 20, I think it was.
Yeah,
it was small amount of money. Yeah, it's pocket change.
Pocket change. Yeah, that was a poor decision, and it did bite us in the ass. I would say, because he will never come back to Man United. This is Scouser, isn't he?
Yeah. Apparently the Man United fans got Man United, like some of his family are Man United fans. But I watched that. I watched him all the way through the youth team. I watched him at Forest. I would watch Forest games.
Yeah,
to see how he was doing.
Yeah, good player, Garner. Good player.
And this was when we had Fred and McTominay who could fucking pass win. We had him, and I was like, yes, at least Ghana. And I was putting all my hopes in when I was like, at least Ghana's coming.
Yeah.
And they don't even get me started.
Yeah, Boxing Straight Talk says Hackney has been brilliant in the championship. He's carried Middlesbrough, but that's a big jump from Borough to United, and I think that's my worry too. But you know, I don't know enough about him. I just see bits and pieces. Let's do the Q&A. Let's do 10 minutes before we wrap it up. So we have a lot of questions already. So let's just play the intro and get going with the Q&A.
Well, here we go. Q&A time. Just before we start, can you go to Tactical Devils United? We are co-streaming. That's our backup channel. If you could please just go and hit the like. We're trying to get the hours up on that one as well. In light of what happened to Rich, we set up a backup channel so that we can keep streaming if there's any issues. You'll know which one it is because it's got a light dark blue, royal blue behind the emblem. So please go and do that for me, and subscribe as well, because it's just really our backup channel. Right then, Q&A. Let's see what we've got. And when did we start?
10 minutes, Stu. I'll be strict.
Yes, we need to 10 minutes. Yes. Okay. So, Stu, what are your thoughts on the Manchester United Williams Kit Woman testicle? I don't know, but I'm quite ticklish myself. But as for testicle, notice how I've gone testicle. I would imagine she's a fantastic kit woman, but I'm quite ticklish myself. Fantastic one. Right, so let's get into it. No,
that's an old one, I believe.
Right, this is this is where we start. So Jarvis Yala says, will Mainoo be a starter? I think he will be sub next season. Interesting. What's your thoughts on that one?
It depends on a lot of things. Will Bruno stay? If Bruno stays, I think we will continue playing this 4-2-3-1 formation, and I think Mainoo will be a starter next season. That's just how I think. You know, especially on the Chelsea game, I think he was man of the match, and he's grown as a player. I think he's learned a lot. But you know, starter or not, we need 4 midfielders, and this is where we are at the moment, and we will play 2 games a week, so Mainoo will get his fair share of games anyway, but we need at least 3 and hopefully 4 midfielders. So I'm not worried, and I think competition is a good thing. You know, if you want to start every game, okay, you have to step up your game, you have to show consistency, stay injury free, and keep performing. That's the only way. So we are not running a charity, we are Man United, so if you're good enough, you will play.
No, totally agree. Nuruddin, what do you think on that one?
No, I want him to be challenged next season. I still think he needs to develop. I think he needs to improve at different aspects of his game. And I don't want to put all the pressure on him next season. I personally believe we need to sign. If Ugarte is going, we need to sign 4 midfielders this summer.
Yeah, I'm the same as you.
I think we need to stack up in that position. So definitely he would get Kobbie Mainoo next season should play at least 25 to 30 games in all competitions.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement.
That's what I would want.
I'm in agreement. I think we've got to overload in the middle of the park, and by doing that, he will get 25, 30 games a season. Yeah, I totally agree. Good question. Thank you for that, Yala. I'm going to give this one to Jarvis. Jarvis, is it true that Man United are trying to sign Harry? I'm going to go with Penis.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not true.
Harry Penis.
Yes. Sorry, I'm Titanium. We've heard it from the horse's mouth. We are not signing Harry. Look, I don't know whether I don't know anything about this to answer the question. I don't even know what you're referring to, Wicker. Does anyone, Jarvis or Nuruddin, do you know what he means by this one?
No. How they boost the ball straight out of
Champions League? Was it in the Champions League or?
Okay.
So basically it's they're almost doing the rugby thing. So sometimes what they do is to gain
advantage.
The advantage, they will kick it out closer so then they can get the press on, win the ball back, and then go to goal. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it do once. Yeah, it's like the rugby. What's they call them rugby when you're making yardage, innit? You make.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Why do they kick it out for a throw in? Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, to get advantage on yardage.
Wicket, I hope that's answered your question.
I've seen them do it once, but I've seen that people were talking about it on X.
Okay. Bilal's got a question for you, Nuruddin, and he says, which college did you go to?
I went to Severian. Brothers of Severian. I could have gone to Loretto, Sisters of Loretto, 2 big Catholic colleges in Manchester. And I went to Severian. Because one of my cousins went there. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. I've not heard of either of those colleges.
And that's where Man City players would go to to basically to get some education, and that's why I got we would get dips in jobs at Man City because they had that connection with the college.
No, fantastic.
Yeah, I remember that Sean Wright Phillips and that went Joey Barton and that they were there when I was in college.
So we were very fortunate here in in Shropshire. We had the School of Excellence. So we had Michael Owen and Giggsy and
Wes Brown and
Wes Brown, all those. And also back in the time, we were up there playing a match actually on the AstroTurf, and Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville and Beckham and Phil Neville all doing the level 1 courses. So we were quite lucky. Brilliant. Okay, what else have we got? Jarvis, one for you. Story says, what do you think of long throw-ins? I think it's so stupid. Only I can accept after Brentford's coming low and lots of pace. Okay, yes, it was going like that. High without pace never works. Why do so many do it?
It's just about effective football. You're just increasing your chances. You just so again, long throw-ins is boring, but I think the referees can do something about it. You can you have a throw-in, you have 3 seconds. That's it. So you don't want it to take like 30 to 40 seconds every time you have a throw-in. It kills the game. So and also when it comes to wrestling in the box, they should never allow it in this way. It's not wrestling, it's not rugby, it's football. Okay, it's physical contact, but they are basically pulling each other's shirts to pieces. So I don't like it, but it's just one of those. But I think the referee should just tighten it up a little bit.
Yes, isn't it worth mentioning, by the way, the tactical genius, supposed tactical god, Pep Guardiola, was chucking it in on the keeper from corners yesterday. The tactical genius, the fraud himself.
Fraudiola.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. This question, backup channel, is it like a burner phone? Possibly. No, it's just what happened to Rich. Me and Jarvis don't want to take any chances.
Maybe I need to think about that. I've got quite a couple of haters.
That's the only thing. So
because people, let me just explain a little bit, because when you start a new channel, you need at least 1,000 hours of viewing time before the channel is approved by YouTube. So what we do by setting up a backup channel, it gets the viewing time going already. So if anything happens, we will be back on air right away on a different channel. So we don't have to wait for another 1,000 hours of viewing time. So again, it's just a safety net. And if you haven't, please go subscribe to Tactical Devils United, not Tactical Devils TV, as we are called this channel. It's just our backup. But we won't do any shows on that. We will just
go live on there. We're just co-streaming. Yeah. No, nothing. So thank you very much for that, guys. We've only got a couple of questions left, actually. So the Primate says, question, before signing off, each of you must say one positive thing about one United player this year and one positive thing about the club as a whole. Nuruddin, I'll let you go with that one.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, buddy.
I think you might have to come back to me on that one, because I need to think long and hard. One player. Lamins. Sonny Lamins.
Yeah, I think
brilliant.
That's fair.
Absolutely brilliant. So I have to say one positive thing about the club.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Sorry, no, I can't find
it. Jarvis,
they sacked the coach. They sacked the coach not because of the results, not because the way he was playing football, because he asked for a midfield player.
Yeah,
and their feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
So one positive, Nordin, you're saying is that Amorim exposed
Facts.
Yes.
the
there you go.
the management of the club. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Jarvis, what would you go with, pal?
Well, Kobbie Mainoo is a positive. You know, I think he came back from almost being sold. I think a lot of us had just written him off, and you know, I think what's the name accumulated at the end. You know, when his brother hold up that T-shirt, Mainoo thing, and for me, you know, I was giving up on Mainoo. I think he had lost his ways in a way because he focused on the wrong things. Even though it wasn't him, it was his brother. But as I saw it, but he came back and proved us all wrong, and I think that's a big positive. So big up to Kobbie Mainoo, and I hope he will stay on for years to come because he's a massive talent. And one positive thing about the club would be, we are in the FA Youth Cup final against Manchester City, so hopefully we will win it.
We are. I think there's a couple of players you can be positive about, but I'm going to go with Harry Maguire. I think there's a few reasons why you would go with Harry Maguire, and I think as men, sometimes you just got to look at somebody and say, fair play to the guy. That's a man who can cope with the highs and the very, very lows that he's gone through in his life. And I think he's come out the last 18 months and been a completely different person. So I think he's been a big positive for us this year. And I think we missed him when he was injured. And since he's been out, I think we missed him, his presence on the pitch. So that would be positive about the club. Look, I've supported the club since I was 7 years old. And I've seen the highs and the lows of what supporting Manchester United can do. And I started off with supporting during the lows. You know, we were terrible in the 70s, but it's always been my club and will always be my club. So I'm going to go with not Pappy's version of Glory, Glory, Man United. I'm going to go with the proper version of Glory, Glory, Man United. And doff my cap to Pappy with Go, Man United. But Glory, Glory, Man United. But it's in my heart at the Premier. And I refuse to. It will always be in my heart.
Yeah, back in the Champions League, that's a positive.
No, I think, as I said, sometimes I wish I didn't have the bug, because these owners really.
They make it very hard, don't they, to say anything positive. But when you take and strip that away, there's a reason we're all here.
Yeah. For me, Manchester United is the greatest. We are the most romantic football club in world football, in sport history. We are the most romantic football sports team in the history of sport.
Totally agree.
Like you lose so many players, so many people on a terrible flight coming back. And by the way, because of the English FA saying that we're going to take the points of you if you're not back in within the country 2 days before your game. That rule brought up because the xenophobia, and they didn't want English teams to play in Europe. That's the reason why those people died. But nobody will tell you otherwise. Those of us who know the history will tell you straight.
Hey, there was conversation.
That's the reason why they took off 3 times in some of the most horrendous conditions in that time in 1958. So to come back from that within a decade later, be the first English team to win it with players who survived that play. There's no movie. That's the movie. The reality is the movie.
Do you know the reality before that, Nuruddin? But I think it was about 2 seasons before that. There was a conversation about Manchester United not playing in Europe. The board didn't want them to play in Europe. It's crazy.
I remember,
Absolutely crazy. Great
that's
question.
Why I'm against the Super League by any means.
Yeah, I don't want
United lost lives. Yeah. We've lost lives.
We have
playing in this competition to wanting to compete against the best in the world. I mean, when I was in Brazil, like I talked to some people who were Brazilian football. They were like, the bus be based. We wanted them to come here and play against the best teams. Here, Santos, Pele heard about and wanted to play against
Manchester United.
you know, Edwards.
Duncan Edwards.
He wanted to play against.
Yeah.
He was like, who are these incredible young players? And we don't know if they would have lived. How many Champions League we would have had, how many league titles we would have had, how much we would have dominated, how history might have been different if they were here. So for me, the idea, like, that's why I love United.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the right thing, though.
My uncle took me. I was 10 years old. I've only been recently arrived in the country.
Yeah.
And that was it. I went there, up the stairs to Stretford End, and I was just like...
You never look back, do you?
And Mark Hughes did an overhead kick and missed. But the fact that he got up and how big he was, I was just amazed. How his thigh would have been like 10 parts of my, 10 of me was one of his legs.
Yeah, I was 7 at Wolves, and I went to fucking Molineux, which was a shithole. The first time I went to United, I remember the goals. They were fucking proper goals, proper stanchions, old. The pitch was fucking mud. Oh, it's terrible, but I can remember it till it was yesterday. We've got a very contentious. I'll read your comment out in a minute, Johnny, but we're going to finish off the Q&A with this. Nishvan has raised the question.
Well, it depends. If anyone comes in for him and gives us 200 million, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a yes or no answer. Yeah, this one. Would you, Jarvis? Yes or no?
No.
No. Nuruddin?
But I would. But just to elaborate a little bit, I would probably be open. I know this is an extreme, unpopular opinion, but I would probably be open of selling Ahmad if Carrick stays on. And hate on me if you like. It's nothing about Ahmad. It's about the playing style of Carrick, and I don't think Ahmad fits in.
I think
in
the current setup.
I personally believe a healthy football club should be able to sell any of the players who are not performing or who don't fit into the system.
No, I don't. I sent Jarvis a TikTok the other day. I'm not a TikTok guy, but I sent him a TikTok. Peter Kenyon talking to an ex-BBC journalist. And he's talking about David Beckham. And Manchester United telling David Beckham he was never going to play for the club again.
Barcelona. He was this close to Barcelona, you know that.
Yeah.
It was Ronaldinho, and then Ronaldinho went there.
That's right. Now we all thought Beckham wanted to go to Real Madrid, didn't we? It was played out in the press, but it was amazing, absolutely amazing. We need to be like a club again. So I agree with you, Jarvis. I think the regression that Ahmad has suffered has been total.
Yeah.
And whether it's Mbeumo or not. So I wouldn't sell Mbeumo, no, but I would sell Ahmad. So that would
to me, I would sell Bruno, me personally, as well. I think Manchester United need to learn to be a team again.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the summer, didn't I? We were all on the show. I said we should take 100 mil, but anyway, what do we know? Johnny K.
And that's the most unpopular opinion, Jarvis. The player that is getting us to Champions League. You think you're Ahmad saying it's so popular?
It's just an opinion anyway.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, I would get rid of. Because like I said to you, I do not want to play through one player. And I want to play 3 in midfield. I don't want somebody who causes us problems with his inability to keep hold of a position, stay disciplined.
Where everyone starts to an opinion. That's what this show's about. Final word goes to the legend that is Johnny Commode, all the way from sunny Florida. And he says, positive Lamans has ended the keeper discussion. Absolutely, 100% he has. Club, in fairness, they believed UCL was a possible, which many of us didn't. We look like we achieved it. Again, I don't think you can say fairer than that.
No. Till it's done. I'm one of these people.
2 wins.
Until it's done. Yeah, until it's done.
2 wins.
It's not done for me.
Now, I worked it out, Jarvis, me old mate, me old mucker. We're on 58. I don't think we can reach the promised land of 66 unless we get a draw in there and a couple of losses. So I'm thinking Mark might be closer to it when he when he went with 68 or 69. So I think that's. So I think we all picked points totals for the end of the season. Nerden, yeah.
Yes.
And Jarvis was living the dream for 2
I said
weeks.
55.
He said 55.
But at that time, to be fair, it was the educated guess.
So he was living the dream, and Jarvis. And I said to Jarvis the other week, "Wouldn't it be great now if all of a sudden World War III erupted and we couldn't play any more football? You'd look like the Messiah." And then I worked out, fuck, I can't get to 66. I need a draw in there to get there. So,
well, there's definitely going to be a draw. There's definitely going to be a draw. And there's going to be a loss as well. I think a loss would be coming.
I think we've got what? We've got 6 games to go, 5 games to go, haven't we?
Yeah, 5 games.
Yeah.
Something like that. So 15 points to play for. So
Sunderland the way is tricky. They've battered. They were football. Majority of the teams that got over there this season.
Good side. Yeah. So I think Mark probably Jarvis by hook or by crook, by only guessing more.
What did he predict it? When did he do the prediction? How many months ago? On the hammering.
Oh, yes.
Summer. Wow.
Yeah,
wow, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, did
Big up, Matt.
And Jarvis was grinning the other week when they said, "If it stops now, you the Messiah."
You know what? When it comes to things like that, I'm glad that you're wrong, Jarvis, because United. That means
67. That's why I think. Well, I think we might just end up at 6. It's going to be between 66 and 69. So I think 67. So if it's 67, Jarvis, I think I win.
6-7.
He's having none of it. We were 55 for 2 weeks, weren't we, pal? Do you remember?
Yeah.
You know,
but
it was.
I think we will end on 65 points. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to get there or thereabouts. But yeah, we said this we did it as a joke actually. We were just laughing. I said, "Go on then, what do you think?" And that's what we all decided. So I think Mark was 69, I was 66, Jarvis was 55. At the time under hammering, Jarvis was on target.
I was on target up until Christmas. Yeah.
So
this is the beauty of football, you know.
We love it.
Listen, I just want to go to Old Trafford on a Champions League night and hear the Champions League music.
If you were talking to which though, have you heard about the disaster that's going to be before the Champions League in 2027? There's no more Adidas fucking stars, is there? Nike have won the contract.
Ooh.
So not now. Originally, Nike were the first, I think. Now they had I don't know if you remember, Jarvis, but they had the white football just with the black swoosh, didn't they? And it looked ace. It just looked ace. And then Adidas have had it since 2000. Is it 2003, something like that? And they bought the stars, the Champions League stars in. Champions. Yeah, that's it. But the whole.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
What's the final of the Champions League and who's going to win it? You got Atletico. You've got what should have been the final for me: Paris versus Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
who's going to win it?
I think. I actually think it's going to be a PSG Arsenal final, and PSG will beat Arsenal because I just think they're too good. Kvaratskhelia at the moment is playing, actually Vitinha is on a different planet at this point in time. But I love Kvaratskhelia anyway. I think they're absolutely Dembele, Doué, they're a fantastic team. PSG. They are.
You know what? I've got this funny feeling. I've got this funny feeling that Atletico have come from nowhere and ended up in a semi-final, and somehow they're under the radar. And I do think if Simeone gets to a final, I just can't see him losing another final.
I think if they get there, I mean, Barcelona should have beaten them anyway. Over the 2 legs, yeah. So
it was all about the Leeds lad. What's his name?
Rafinha.
If
he was fit, they go through.
Yeah, because Rafinha is on a But I just the way that PSG have been playing. I mean, Vitinha for me is just wow. He's just wow. I mean, what'd you say?
The way that it's the way that French league gives them a whole week off to prepare.
They do it properly, don't they?
That's unbelievable.
Dewey,
They
Dembele.
suspended. Can you imagine suspending the league
Yeah,
game?
they suspended the league. Yeah.
So they're like, oh yeah, you've got a game this week. No, you don't have a game. You've got a whole week to prepare for that.
But I think I just got this feeling Arsenal are going to make it through to the final. I don't know
Not
why.
too nervous for me. I'm saying, Simeone, please do a job. Do an absolute job.
And then, of course, we've got who's in the Europa League? We've got two teams, Villa and
Villa and Forest.
Yeah. It's Villa and Forest, so we're going to get one in the Europa League final, which is brilliant.
And then in the Europa Conference, we've got Palace.
Palace, haven't we, in the semis? Yeah. So, we could have 3 British teams, English teams, in all finals, which I think would be meant. I think that would be brilliant for us.
That'd be crazy. Would be.
And by the way, if Aston Villa wins the Europa League, it's very good news for Bodø/Glimt, because then they will go into the last qualification round of the Champions League because of their rank. So they will meet a lesser team, and they will be at least go into Europa League qualification if they lose that game. So
honestly, I watched that Porto game, and with great regret. And I was thinking Bodø/Glimt would have given Arsenal a fucking game.
Yeah, they would have.
They were horrible going away.
There was a conversation, and there still may be a conversation, that Villa win the Europa League and get into the Champions League, we might get a 6th. If you finish 6th, you might get in.
Wow.
It's too much for me. 5's too much anyway. We shouldn't be 5.
I remember when it was just 1.
That's what it was, wasn't it? The Champions League. Yeah. But I think PSG are going to be too strong for
Bayern.
Bayern. I think
Bayern's 2 wingers. If they turn up,
Elise is
just turn up, and Diaz. If they turn up, that's a club that knows how to fucking recruit.
Yeah,
look at that, Ribéry. They're playing Ribéry and Robin again.
Oh no, yeah, Ribéry. The interesting thing is though, and it kind of does demonstrate the weakness of the German league. I tend to agree with you guys, because I mean, Company couldn't get anything out of Burnley, could he? And yet, in the Premier League.
Either way, I spoke to a couple of City fans who are on the know. He is one of the. He's on the top one. He's in the top 3 of guys to replace Pep Guardiola. Well, if he was to win the Champions League,
if he wants to leave
Bayern. For what he's doing, you can't argue with it. To be fair, I know the favourite's Maresca, isn't it?
Yeah,
because he's not piped up at all, has he? He's not appeared anywhere. No. Maresca. So
somebody said Maresca at United might, and I'm like, I don't know.
Not for me.
Yeah, the ball rotates too much on the back. On the back, you know what I mean? Like, it's too much around the back. I'm like, Old Trafford. You can imagine. Get forward.
Get
that ball forward.
No.
I think I agree with a couple of guys in the chat. I think Bayern will win it. I think Bayern looks the better team.
To me, there is something, especially the upper back.
Olise is unplayable.
Yeah,
Olise is unplayable at the moment.
Yeah, and they can switch the play as well. And that young midfielder, is he Croatian or whoever, the midfielder?
Pavlovic.
Yeah. I do tend to agree with that. But Kvaratskhelia is unplayable at this point as well, and so is Vitinha.
I mean, Vitinha, and Dembele is not as injury prone anymore. He's finding the goals he's got against Liverpool.
Yeah,
the first one.
Well. I think they're in for I think PSG will get past Bayern.
I can't wait for that. I'm really looking forward.
So it's next week, isn't it?
Yeah. I think next week. I think next week. See, next week Wednesday or next week Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And then there's a break, isn't there? Isn't there a break then? Don't they have a 2-week break or something?
And then the other semi-final, I think it is.
Yeah, that's it. They play one semi-final 1 week.
And then
the following week. Yeah, it's good how they do that. I quite like it, but I love the Champions League semi-finals. They're just fucking brilliant. Wednesday.
I'm still not got over.
So
I've still
Wednesday,
not got over the Bible League.
Yeah, Wednesday the 29th. Arsenal play Madrid. Arsenal are away. Tuesday the 28th, which is great because I don't play football on Tuesday night. Is Paris against Bayern, and it's in Paris.
Woo!
That day, right? That day, because the championships are live at the moment. You've got Ipswich, Southampton. That's I think who goes up, isn't it? Like Ipswich, Southampton playing away. So great games, and then of course we got fucking Brentford, haven't we?
Yeah.
Who's on at the weekend? Let's have a look on Friday. Leeds.
So Stu, as you said, this is the schedule when it comes to the Premier League. No, the Champions League. So we have Bayern, PSG, and Atletico Arsenal on Wednesday, and then they turn it around. Arsenal on Tuesday against Atletico, and Bayern against PSG.
Oof! Look
First
at
leg.
those games.
Yeah.
Don't let me down, please. Don't let me down. I mean, Atletico. I just want Atletico to knock Arsenal out. I'm telling you, he's playing the best football I've ever seen him play.
Simeone is. Yeah, he is.
The French lad, who's 35 now. World Cup
winner.
Griezmann.
Griezmann. Yeah, you're on about Griezmann, aren't you? Yeah.
This is against Barcelona, who press you on the ball. Some of the touches he showed in that game, Jarvis, Stu, honestly, I was like, the deftness of touch and the first touch and the control and the know-how and the brain. It's like almost like a snooker player. He's setting one touch up here to get the back, and then boom, he's going that velvet left foot.
It's ever since he started wearing Kipster boots.
He loves Simeone. He was getting emotional, actually.
Yeah,
like,
he does.
Said, Simeone's got the best out of him,
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. I don't even know how old Rafinha is these days, but oh my God. I just miss magical players who can just...
I like Rafinha. I don't think he's that old, is he? Is he about 26, 27?
Right, guys, listen, I'm going to head to bed.
Yeah. Let's end the show, guys. I just want to end with the latest news. There is an update, and it's this one. Man United have been... Apparently, we are putting in a 35 million euro bid for Palmeiras star, and that guy is this guy, Eduardo Conceição. His name is Palmeiras under 20. Brazilian. He's 16 years of age. I saw some clips, best of his type of JJ Gabriel, super technical. He looks like he's 30.
Yeah, I've come across that.
I think he's 16 years old and he's bald.
Yeah,
you know,
I've come across that.
Proper guy. So, well,
how good is he, David? How good does he look?
I only seen a compilation best of, and they always like world beaters in those. But he knows how to dribble. It's very quick feet, much flair. So
is he direct? No, is he direct? Is he direct to goal, or is he just
from what I could see, he looked like he was
direct.
What money for a 16-year-old though? A lot of money.
But honestly, I'll take it. If it's like Esteval, I really rate Esteval. The other night when he went off, I was like,
I was doing that as well.
Thank God for that. I really rate Esteval. Jarvis, for me, the biggest thing about those young Brazilians is about, are you doing the skills for skill's sake, or are you going to go? To me, I'm looking for the directness. When I look at Latin American players, I'm like, directness. And you know what? If we had the 500 million, guess who I would go and buy? Centre forward. Atletico Madrid centre forward. I think he is.
Oh, Alvarez. We could have got him for 18 million, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Ranieri,
yeah, he's brilliant.
It was him, Diaz. Who else we could have got? Enzo Fernandez.
We could have got him. Yeah. We could have got him. Anyway,
it's been a brilliant show, guys. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, sitting with us for the last 2 hours and 38 minutes. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in. Let's see, on top, we have I Am Titanium with the most comments. Is it just me, niche fan, Catherine Nonons, McDade, Danny B, Boxing Straight Talk, The Plymouth, Wissa, Johnny Kermode, Story, all of you legends, Yalam Almin, and the Madness, Sean. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a great show. It's been a good talk, guys.
I will be live tomorrow doing a deep dive. I think I might be live around 10 doing a deep dive, 9:30 or 10, doing a deep dive into Nagelsmann. I'm making notes. I'm doing a deep dive.
I will tune in for that one.
Really deep dive.
Yeah, I will tune in for
and
that
even
one.
though I don't want him, but I think it's fair because people have asked loads of questions on the channel saying, what do you think of Nagelsmann? And I'm like, I don't really know too much, so I want to do. Big up Kadeem as well.
Big up.
See you around OTs soon, man.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please do us a favor before we wrap up. Smash the like. And if this was your first time on the Tactical Devils, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel.
Yes,
we don't do content every day, but we do 2 or 3 shows a week. So, you know,
hype the video. Hype the video. Please hype the video.
Yes. Hype the video. And by the way, we are on 59 likes. So thank you everybody for the likes. So when will we do the next show? It's Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night. We'll be back Thursday, and then we don't play till Monday. So perhaps
so we will see if we can squeeze in a match preview in the weekend.
Yeah, we'll do a Sunday night.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick to death of these Monday night games.
Oh, I'm fed up with them as well. Me and Jarvis are talking about it. You know, Saturday night, it's family time. You know, Jarvis is out in the pub and he already planned it. You know, it's family time, isn't it? And you just think to yourself, So Monday night's even worse. It's just crazy.
You come in, you have your tea, and then you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah. So, so we'll do Sunday. Definitely do an hour, won't we, Sunday?
So two more shows this week, so you don't get spammed down with shows on all the updates. We usually just do a longer show a couple of times in a week. So
just what we like. Also, please subscribe and like our backup channel, Tactical Devils Unite. Sorry, I was thinking about something else then. I can't do 2 things. I'm male. I can't do
his channel back with his subscribers, or did he have to find a new channel?
Start again. I'd start again. Yeah, we don't know I don't know what happened, but somebody got his channel taken down anyway. So he did a massive stream last night. It was about 4 hours because he's desperately trying to get his his hours up. So but please subscribe to Tactical Devils United. It's a favor for us more than anything.
Okay, guys. Thank you, everybody. We will be back on the next. Thank you, and have a good night. Bye.